Thank you, calling Pop John's Cumberland. This is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here! Yay! I know, right? Tom Wood's lifetime powertrain coverage includes the 4 most important systems in your vehicle for unlimited miles and unlimited time at no cost to you. Protection from expensive repairs for a lifetime. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com.
There is no better way to start a football game than this.
Block! Just the kicker to beat. Hamilton using it. Past the 20. Richard Hamilton to the end zone.
I don't know who we're playing, but they better be ready because the Center Go Trojans are coming.
The field makes the grab at the 40. Donovan McCauley past the 30. One man to beat. Donovan McCauley all the way in.
The streak is finally over, man! The streak is finally over!
Oh my goodness, this game always delivers.
At Tom Wood, we believe you can't put a price on peace of mind, so we don't. With Tom Wood's lifetime powertrain coverage, you're protected for unlimited miles and unlimited time, all at no cost to you. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com.
Thank you, calling Pop John's Cumberland. This is Kyle speaking.
She's my favorite. I love the plane.
Is that Supreme?
I really like
They scored touchdowns here. You gotta be able to get these guys off the field to get the game. Nice punt.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of FrontRunner Media's Next Generation Initiative. Thanks to FrontRunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
Welcome to the high school game of the week. DMJ along with Travis Brown out here at Brownsburg High School. And we got a big game tonight with the Carmel Greyhounds here on site. I tell you what, we got two top-ranked ball clubs tonight. Travis, what do you think?
Well, anytime you talk about Indiana high school football, Friday night lights, the sectionals, now you're talking about number 4 Brownsburg, and of course number 6 Carmel, Carmel Greyhounds, and you know this is going to be a high-powered, exciting game tonight.
Now we got one team, 8-1, one team 8-2. Brownsburg only has one loss, and they got that loss in overtime to Westfield. They've got some studs over there in Ben Easters, Peyton Terrell. I mean, they've got some. He's going to Purdue. They have some players over there on that side of the football.
Well, last week they pulled out that comeback against their own rival, Avon, and so I know they're awful excited to take the crosstown rival of Carmel, but put a lot of talent on this football field and go at it. And anytime you're a team that has big-time D1 athletes, especially at the quarterback position, the wide receiver position, and running backs, it is going to be a high-powered game with so much excitement, and I'm looking forward to it.
And you look at Carmel. We follow Carmel. Of course, they're a MIC team, and then you have the MIC versus HCC matchup, and we know how that usually turns out in playoffs. But I tell you what, this Brownsburg team is a really good team. But if you look at Carmel over there, you look at Zach Osborne. He can get it done with his legs, and he's got some players over there as well.
Well, again, this is the MIC Network, and so we are a little bit biased about how tough the MIC is. A lot of parity in the MIC this year. But Brownsburg is a tough team representing the HCC. And, when I think about these two teams coming out here on Friday night, all the seniors out there, this is the last go-around. This is putting everything you have, or your heart, your soul, into this game tonight.
And you think about it, these teams haven't played, their programs haven't met since 1974, which seems that's a little odd because these are two great programs. It seems like they should play a little bit more often than that.
Well, you think they're only the opposite side of the city, from the northeast side and the west side, if you will. But you'd think these teams would be battling, but they just haven't. And with the new sectional alignment, this is going to be they're going to be playing each other a lot, real often over the course of the next several years until they change that thing again.
Absolutely. With Carmel coming down south this year, I mean that's going to be a big. Everyone's looking to see how they fare. And so far, they've done pretty well.
Yeah, I think the one thing about a Carmel coach team is that they're going to battle, they're going to fight, they're going to play hard, and they're always going to be in the games. I think this is several sectional championships in a row for Carmel, and they're going to be competing tonight.
Absolutely. So let's throw it down on the field to Gabe Brown. See what he's got. Gabe.
Thank you, guys. I was speaking to the Carmel head coach before this game, who are 8-2, and not to forget to mention that they are state champions. And now this isn't for any reason, but the coach was saying that the team is going to come out and play like it is their last game. Now, I also talked to the Brownsburg coach, and he said that they are fired up. They've been prepping for weeks, and they're ready to go out on the front foot. Back to you guys upstairs.
Well, I tell you what, everybody's excited. It's just a shame that this game's taking place during COVID because this place would be jam-packed if it weren't for that. But again, we have some fans here. You can see them. Everyone's excited. We're excited. This is going to be a great ball game out here in Brownsburg.
Well, you're right. You can hear the crowd starting to get riled up as Brownsburg's taking the field to get ready for this game. I'm telling you right now, this excitement, the energy, even though it's in COVID, and yes, there are social distancing happening, I'm telling you, this Brownsburg, this crowd is super excited. And, you know, Carmel always travels well, whether it's visible or not. I'm telling you, there's a lot of pride on the other side of the sidelines.
You're absolutely correct there. And this looks like Carmel is going to receive the football to start the game here. Brownsburg in the nice black uniforms with the purple numbers. I like that look. That's a really good look.
They definitely got me because they got the jump man on there, and they are representing. Let's see how well they play in those uniforms tonight.
And we're about set here, ready to go here. All right, and here we go, just about set. And this game is underway. All right, looks like that's going to be a touchback. Ball was dropped in the end zone, so Carmel's going to get the ball to the 20-yard line to start that.
So right now, Darryl, what I think right now is happening is, you know, there's a lot of seniors out here on this field, and there's a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, but there's also a lot of nervousness. And so, you know, typically you see that in the beginning when teams are a little bit more nervous, and the team that can calm down and get their composure the fastest are probably going to be the team that puts on the points, put more points on the board. So let's see what Carmel has.
Absolutely. We see Zach Osborne in the spread offense right now. We see Zach next to him, inside handoff to Zach White. He goes up the middle, churns, and gets about 6 before he's finally brought down.
Yeah, you know, Zach has been their workhorse, and you know he's the guy that to stabilize them, they come out and they run. You know, for some teams, they're trying to get that quarterback to calm down, so they start out with a couple running plays, and they get acclimated, and they get more comfortable with what they're doing. You can see that's exactly what Carmel came out and did right away.
And we see Zach, you know, he's not afraid to take a hit there. He'll actually dish some out there.
He is a.
Brownsburg kind of circled the wagons there, and he stopped behind the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And this Brownsburg defense is tough too. I mean, they have some underclassmen, but you know, by and large, when you see this team, you know, they are ready, they're fast, they're aggressive, they run to the ball well, and their guys are going to make some plays tonight.
3rd and 4. See, Osborne just kind of looks over. And set. 9 seconds left on the play clock here. Takes the snap. And then we see Osborne uses his legs. He breaks free, and he's got a lane there. He gets across the 50. That was a great call. He just actually looked like he was going to flip that out, but he kept it and just tucked it. Got it on the left side, and great run by Carmel.
Well, and this is what happens when you're not disciplined with what you're doing. See, somebody's responsible for the quarterback and the quarterback only, and somebody decided to do something else. Quarterback hit the corner, turned it upfield, and made a big play. This is one of those things in high school football that you see a lot. You got to stay disciplined and to know your assignment. Somebody's going to be watching film tomorrow morning and know that was my job, and I didn't get it done.
And Zach will run the football. We've seen that all season. He will tuck and run. Zach White again, and again wrapped up there. No gain by the Brownsburg Bulldogs.
And, you know, what's going to happen is throughout the game, just to always keep balance, you know, you got to run the ball. And you got to run the ball to keep everybody honest before you start throwing and spreading things out. And so, you know, Carmel, and I don't know if they script their plays to start with or not, but, you know, a lot of times those first few handful of plays or two, they're already scripted out no matter what the situation is. And you see Carmel trying to run the ball.
2nd down, 10 yards to go.
We'll cover 2.
Osborne back in the pocket, goes deep, has a man open, and overthrows him, so that pass was just a little long.
And I couldn't tell who had that coverage right there, but really good coverage from the corner right there. It looked like they were in cover two with safety help right on the top, and nobody else threatened him, and he kept getting deeper and deeper and staying with that, and made a good play on the ball.
He did, and I'll tell you what, he just overthrew Parker just a little bit. I'll tell you what, you better watch that matchup because typically he's going to hit Parker, usually on a slant pass, but every now and then he'll get loose and get deep. 3rd down and 10. Osborne back, looking over the middle. It's a short game.
And this is where field position comes in because, yes, it's 4th down and looks like they are sending the punt team in. It'll be interesting to see what you do early and how they pin them down. And, the punter Schaefer here has a good leg. We'll see him probably put some hang time up in there and see if they can pin Brownsburg down inside the 10-yard line and start changing the field position early in this game.
And here's the punt. It's away, and looks like it's going to take a nice bounce there, and Carmel's got him trapped inside the 10-yard line. Looks like it's going to be around the 8, so very effective punt there, and this is where Brownsburg is going to take over.
Yeah, and people at home are always like, go catch the ball. Well, there's a simple rule that every punt returner lives by, and that is typically in high school and college. You put your heels on the 10-yard line, and you don't go backwards to receive. They do it in the NFL all the time because those punters are really good, and so they got the ball now. We'll see what Brownsburg can do.
And we got Ben Easters here. I'll tell you what, he's a stud headed to Kansas State, and he's got a couple of receivers over there, and Lacey and Terrell. Inside handoff, the ball's on the ground. Looks like Carmel may have recovered, but let's see what the officials say here. Carmel says we have it, and let's see what the officials finally come up with. No announcement yet, and now it is Carmel football.
Wow, that's a big turnover right there. On your first play as Brownsburg, is the last thing you want to happen, and you're trying to mount up a drive right there, and you put the ball on the ground, and Carmel recovers it, and now this is when your defense has to say, fire, fire. Well, oh, wow. Look at that. I stopped right mid-sentence. Look at that replay. He had the ball on the ground and was down. Good thing they don't have a replay in high school football.
Because that could have been, it would have gone the other way, huh? So, but nonetheless, here come the Carmel Greyhounds. Osborne with his team in the spread. Keeps it again and picks up a couple before he goes down again. Like I said, Osborne has no problem keeping the ball and picking up what he can with his legs.
If I'm Brownsburg right now, what I'm really concerned about is, we've got to have our defensive line. They got to be in a position to stop the run. The backers have to be up doing that. What makes it dangerous is then that's when he pulls the ball, he gets around the corner, and all of a sudden, now you're trying to catch Osborne around the corner, and he's dancing in the end zone.
2nd down, 7 yards to go here. Inside handoff, that's Zach White, and he takes it down to about the 6-yard line.
Good hard-nosed run from Zach, but a great defensive line right there. First point of contact, held him up just enough for his boys to come running and make that tackle.
So 3rd down and actually goal. Ball at the 6-yard line.
And here's where you have an opportunity right now to decide if you want to keep the ball in your quarterback's hands and let him run it, or do you want to spread it out a little bit and look for Colton Parker, number 22, that's going in motion right now, and that option there.
Again, Osborne keeps it and goes right up the middle there and almost got to the end zone there. Again, another design play.
And this is tough. Do you put points on the board with a field goal, or do you go for it? I'm the guy in high school that says, man, you're on the 1-yard line. Go for it. If you turn the ball over, you're going to put them on the 1-yard line, and you saw what happened last time. So I think Carmel's going to go for it here.
They're going to go for it here, but they do have a tremendous kicker in Spencer Hanna. So let's see what happens here. This is, again, 4th down. The ball's on the 1-yard line. Osborne, under center, takes it, sneaks in, and he falls into the end zone. Touchdown. Let's see. Are they going to announce it yet? No.
I thought he was short.
Was he short?
I thought he was short.
Looks like Brownsburg holds.
What a defensive stance right there from the Brownsburg Bulldogs.
Big Jalen Wilson was in there on the play, along with Big number 92 there.
What a defensive stance right there. Man, the energy. You know, what happens, Darryl, is as soon as you get that call that your offense turned the ball over, you got to run out there. You got 4 plays to stop them, and that's exactly what they did. Big momentum boost for Brownsburg. Now they just got to take care of the ball and move it down the field.
Big Isaiah Street's in on that play as well. So, again, here come the Bulldogs. So that's a great hold there. So certainly a momentum booster. But, again, they have the ball deep in their own territory. Easter with the handoff inside. Looks like it's going to be a couple picked up.
And really at this point in time, you're trying to make a decision if you're Brownsburg. Like, you know, that quarterback turned around and handed the ball off in the end zone about 5 yards deep, and that's pretty dangerous. That's why you see a lot of people sneak a couple times. They'll throw the ball down the field with quick hitters just to give them some room, because it's pretty dangerous when you're 5 yards deep in your own end zone.
Yeah, and that was number 6, Brandon Burks, the senior. So Easter with the snap. Again, the Burks. He gets around the edge. He may not get there. He's not going to make it out of the end zone. Safety. The Carmel Greyhounds defense stands tall.
Well, and that's kind of what I was just talking about right there. When you turn around and hand the ball and you're already 5 yards deep in the end zone, all it takes is one guy making a play, and that's exactly what happened from number 33 for Carmel right there, Andrew Turvey, who is the number 1 player on this defense according to Carmel statistics. He made a big-time play right there.
He read that all the way there. So, if you think about what has happened here for Brownsburg, their first possession, they ran 1 play, and they turned the ball over on a fumble. To get the ball back, they run 2 plays, and they give up 2 points for a safety.
And right now, as a head coach and even a defensive coordinator, you're trying to control your defense because your defense has to go back out there right now. And now they start having a little bit of head trash. Now they're frustrated with their offense, who is not really helping them right now. But the defense has to go suck it up and play to get the ball back, to give their offense a chance to get back on this field. Because make no mistake, Brownsburg offense is super powerful, but they haven't thrown one pass yet, and they haven't had a chance to really push the envelope with their offense any whatsoever.
I tell you, it's kind of tough when you start so deep in your own territory to be able to establish anything. So right there, they had to establish a run just to try to give the quarterback some room to work with. It just didn't happen with Carmel playing tough defense there and picking up the safety.
And now the situation is they got to come back out and kick the ball back to Carmel. A little bit different style than your normal kickoff, and we'll see what kind of field position that puts them in. But this is starting the process to be a mental game, and now as an offense, if you're Brownsburg, keep seeing this purple and black in the Mick games that we normally call. That means it was Ben Davis, which, by the way, the winner of this game will get Ben Davis or Perry Meridian next week. But now mentally, they're trying to figure out, can we even move the ball? They start having some doubt. They start having a little bit of fear, and nothing will stymie your ability to play on Friday night than fear.
And both these teams, they do have one common opponent. That is Ben Davis.
Yeah, well, somebody might get a chance to crack at him again next week. But right now I know this focus is on, can we get past this week?
And here's the kick. It's going to be fielded.
Oh, wow.
And that's Barron Smith there. He's just going to take a fair catch there.
And I know Barron right now, he's going, man, I'd love to have that one back right there because I had good blocking. I had room in front of me. One of the hardest things I ever did in football was take punt returns because that ball goes up there and you're looking up there. You're not sure how close somebody is. And, he took the safe route. He could wave that hand and said, give me the room. But I bet he wish he had that one back right now.
And here's Carmel again on their third possession tonight. Osborne taking the snap. Looks. Has a man out the flat there. Goes for a very little gain, but that's going to be number 23, Jordan Jones, on the reception.
A lot of teams are running that play right there. It's meant to be a quick hitter to get your ball to one of your most, best athletes and get it to them fast outside of the defense. the challenge is defense can string it out, and often they don't get that ball up the field. And you saw Brownsburg did a great job right there stringing that play out and a little tackle for loss.
Just strung them out and just kept them. Osborne over the middle. Hit number 10, that is Daniel Mullins, and he has a lane, and he may go. He is in the end zone. Touchdown, Carmel.
Wow, what a great wide open play. Made a couple guys miss and then took it to the house.
I'll tell you, we usually see Parker run that little slant there, but Mullins did a great job, ran a great route, and once he got it there, and he just made a man miss right there, and then turn on the Jets, and after that, it was bye-bye. Touchdown, Mullins for Carmel.
Just a great play, play after he caught the ball. They talk about sometimes yak yards, yards after catch or yards after contact. Both cases, he did well in that situation right there.
Well, he had a catch, like you said, catch and contact on that one.
Making up new categories, yak and yak.
And we talk about this, especially covering the MIC. The MIC versus HCC teams. Typically, when they play earlier in the year, around August, early September, and there's a win by an HCC team, the conversation is, can they play with the mixed squads? Okay, then the playoffs start, and then we start to see things start to happen like this. Is this a psychological thing that Brownsburg has got to get over? Because right now, Carmel is rolling.
Well, I'm going to answer that question, but I think we're going to hear from Gabe, and I'm going to come right back because I love that question. Gabe, what you got down at the field?
Look, it is no match to Carmel. They are state champions for a reason. They picked up a safety early on, and they just wrapped it up with a touchdown. Now let's see how far this can go into the game. Back to you guys upstairs.
So, Daryl, I think that question that you ask is the psychological impact right now. And, if you play in the MIC, right, it's kind of like playing in the Big Ten or the SEC. You believe that you're a little bit better. You're more battle-tested than anybody else because you believe the breadth of team that you play all year long are better than anybody else. And so what you look like early on will feel different down the stretch. That's why in the state championship, in most cases in 6A, there's two MIC teams playing each other, and that right there will start to creep in the heads of Brownsburg going, can we really compete with Carmel? Is our number 4 ranking, their number 6 ranking, is that really the right thing? And they'll start playing those battles if they can't put a ball in motion and have more than 2 or 3 plays. I think it's something we definitely want to watch throughout this game.
Absolutely. With Carmel playing now in the South, there will not be 2 MIC teams in the state championship.
It's amazing how they did that to kind of fix that. I know we're biased on that, but, it's a little bit disappointing that you may have the 2 or 3 best teams cancel each other out in sectional.
And here we go here, Brownsburg with the and looks like there might have been a little contact with the face mask there, but that's number 14 with the run back there. That's Rashawn Miles Jr. Got a nice little seam there, kept the legs going there, got up to about the 32-yard line before he's knocked down. Actually, the 26 before he's knocked down.
Yeah, he got some good yardage right there. Almost broke that thing loose. But this is a big series right now. They can't go 3 and out. They got to move the ball.
Actually, the 34-yard line. And here's Easter back. Takes the snap. Inside handoff. Looks like that might be Burks there, and he squeaks through.
Well, he got up in that hole really quick right there, and that's positive yardage for Brownsburg to see that, yes, we can move the ball on this team. Feels a lot different when you're on your 35 versus when you're on your 2-yard line.
And that's actually the sophomore, Caleb Marcus. They have tell you what, they got a couple of nice backs out here. It's Easter. Empty backfield there. He's got some receivers, some top receivers. It looks like that's number 1 there. That's Terrell there, and he is a big-time player going to Purdue there. Great catch. The chains are going to move. First down, Brownsburg.
Well, you're right. Terrell is a big receiver, a big-time next-level guy. He's dominated the high school level. We'll see how he does in my Purdue Boilermaker black and gold.
So it looks like they're trying to speed up the game a little bit here. Inside handoff. Again, that is Marcus. He gets loose there, and there is nothing there, but I do see a flag down on the field, so this could be in the area of a hold, perhaps.
Well, good job from Carmel's defense stringing that play out right now. You know, Brownsburg was definitely trying to increase the tempo, catch them off guard, and it didn't work. And there you go, Carmel defense doing damage.
So we can see, we saw that Brownsburg again tried to speed up play a little bit. A couple of runs there, but I tell you that they have to establish their guys, man. You know, you got Lacey and Tara, we talked about. I mean, those guys are big-time receivers there. At some point, they're going to have to challenge this Carmel back, these corners.
Yeah, I think you're going to see them do that. They're just so out of rhythm right now. It's hard for them to get in that rhythm. But you're going to have to put the ball in your quarterback, and you're going to have to throw the ball to Terrell.
Easton fakes a handoff, looks, rolls, and that ball was tipped away. That was intended for Terrell, and ball just knocked away.
You know, I think that ball. I think that ball was going after for Lacey right there.
That was actually Lacey.
And you know what? He got a little bit gun shy. He got up off his feet, and I think he got a little bit nervous right there. Some alligator arms, and those are ones you want to come down with.
Easter drops back, and he is absolutely destroyed by number 54 for Carmel as he just shot right through there. There was no answer. That's Dominic Pageant. Just came right through there. Look at this replay here.
What a great blitz call right there. And, you know, you're in that situation, your quarterback, you know, you have nothing that you can do, but you got to tuck it and try to keep it to live to play another day. Great X and O's matchup. Carmel did a heck of a job with that defensive call right there.
I'll tell you what, it's 3rd and 3, and so far this Carmel defense is playing really well.
Well, and this is a tough play for you because, you know, teams are deciding, do I want to just get some yards for my punter here, or am I really going to try to pick up the, 10, 20, 30-some yards on this play?
Easter throws. Knocked away by number 13 for Carmel, and that is Tamaria Springfield. So it's going to bring up 4th down, and here comes the punting unit for the Bulldogs.
Well, you know, the good news for Brownsburg is they had a little momentum coming, you know, with a couple good plays. They got caught on that run play that Carmel blew up. With a holding, pushed them back. The great blitz call from Carmel, and now they're punting again and giving the ball back to Carmel, who is just really controlling this game.
And like you talked about, is this something that is starting to creep in the heads of the Bulldogs in the first quarter? And a bad punt there, and the ball is in the end zone. It's just batted out of the back of the end zone, so there's another safety. So we're seeing a lot of mistakes by the Bulldogs early on. These are uncharacteristics of what we've seen them play this year. They're 8-1.
Yeah, definitely. Snap goes, you know, it's high, goes over. Now, this is a situation where he's panicking here. He still has time. He could have picked that ball up and turned around and got it off, but he panicked. And then, you know, every kicker knows once that ball hits the end zone, you knock it out the back, you give them the 2 points so they don't get the ball on the end zone for 7, and then they end up kicking it. So, unfortunate situation. What I don't know right now is the game just too big for them right now, and there's nerves? I wouldn't think so. This has been a battle-tested team all year long in Brownsburg. They played in some big games, but this is Friday Night Lights in Indiana, sectional championship on the line, and they look a little nervous.
Well, Gabe in his report said that the coaches were waiting. They've been working and waiting for this game for 3 weeks. I mean, you had a game last week. I mean, you looking, you know, ahead on the schedule. Sometimes that comes back to bite you.
Well, and in some cases, you know, first of all, these are high school kids who are giving their best effort, and sometimes in these games like this, it just gets away from them. Now, what I said early on was both teams are going to be nervous. The team that was able to calm their nerves the fastest is going to put themselves in a situation, and Carmel's done a good job to do that. And I think this is where a little of that MIC swagger comes in, where people are saying, like, this is every single week in the MIC. These are the type of games that we play, and, you know, these games aren't too big for us. And you're talking about Carmel, who is, you know, puts himself in a state championship dang near every single year. They're always competitive. They're always around. And they've come over here to this side of town and showed up and said, I don't care if you're number 4, it's going different tonight.
Well, if you're Coach Hart, what message do you have for your team at this point?
Well, what Coach Hart has to do, and you know, he's got to get his guys grounded. He's got to be over there right now saying, hey, listen, we've been here before. This has happened. We're only down 11 points. We were, I think, down more than that last week. Hey, get yourself together. Defense, you're going to have to go out and play. Offense is going to come out there and do their thing. Everybody just calm down. And, you know, Coach Hart's played in the biggest of big games. You know, he was a Warren guy for several years and won state championships. He knows what he's doing. He's doing a great job with this program. But the question is, can he get his guys back?
And here we go with another kick after a safety here. 3:17 left here in the first quarter.
And I can tell you this, you know, he's not going to want to fair catch this one.
Let's see what he's learned, and that ball's going to be fielded.
Oh, that's a booming kick right there. But
Colton Parker.
But the nice thing about it is,
still on his feet, and he finally knocked down just on the other side of the 40. I tell you what, that was actually a great return by Parker.
Yeah, so what happens sometimes is when a kick is that good, it out-kicks the coverage. In other words, it kicked it so far that the blocks happened early on. Now the guys were able to maneuver and go down and give him the room that he needed to make a great run.
And here we go, Carmel offense against Osborne. White just to the right of him. Receiver spread. Here's man in motion. Inside handoff. That's going to be number 23 after he's knocked down. That's Jordan Jones for the, actually that's 35, I'm sorry, 35 that's knocked down there. And that is Desmond Duffy for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, that little quick hitting play right there is meant to catch the defense off guard real quick. It's hard for them to react. You do that when you have a lot of quick guys that you can try to break through, and Carmel's trying to expose that.
They caught me off guard. Here we go, Osborne. Looks over the defense here. Looks over at the bench here to get some clarity. Takes the snap. Inside handoff to Zach White. He just takes it and just pulls his way right up the middle there. Almost to the markers there before he is finally taken down by a gang of Bulldogs.
And again, you know, Carmel's doing a good job mixing it up right here, but they're going to go back to their bread and butter and hand the ball to the pounding fullback and just say, hey, let me get a yard or two. Let me just make sure everybody's honest, because when that happens, it opens up for the options, it opens up for the outside runs, it opens them up to be able to throw the ball down the field.
3rd down and 1 for the Greyhounds. And they put themselves in a position now where they can really take advantage of the run with the lead now. They don't have to be in a hurry to throw it. Back off. White up the middle there. He's got a short gain. He may have enough for the first down, but let's see what the officials say as they run in. Looks like he's going to be a little short. No official indication yet.
But you look like he's just a little bit short right there, and you know, going to put Carmel in a 4th down situation. And these are the times where right now, if you get a defensive stop right here on the 50-yard line, momentum can change. I'm telling you, if Carmel decides to go for it, this is a big play right here for Brownsburg. They need this stop for momentum's sake right here.
They stopped him on the 1. Let's see if they can stop him here. Osborne takes the snap, hands to Zach White. He bulls his way forward for the first down. The sticks are going to move.
Yeah, just a good hard-nosed play right there from the fullback and good contact. But sometimes, you know, if your pads don't get lower than the other guy, then you give up ground. And that's why sometimes it's good to be a little linebacker. I had one of those in high school. My buddy Jason Massey, he's a 5'9" guy. I watched him pound guys, stand guys up as a middle linebacker. He was so little, but he was so tough. He got his pads down. He used to blow stuff up all the time. Somebody's got to take some note of that right there for Brownsburg.
And just under 40 seconds left here in the first quarter. Osborne takes the snap, drops back, looks down the field, and he lets it go. Looks like he may have Parker, and there might be some hand play there, and that was actually Jason King.
Yeah, and, you know, good job defensively, but he underthrew him, and, you know, Jason King wasn't able to come back and make that play. You know, at the next level, they do that intentionally, where they get that guy, they throw that ball back behind him. Really difficult. You don't see that happen at the high school level too much. He just didn't put enough wind under that ball.
So 2nd down and 10. Ball's on the 49-yard line. White in the backfield. Osborne throws it out, and that ball was intended for Barron Smith. He just looked before he had it, and the ball was not caught. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, and you know what? That was almost a big play right there as you see that receiver blocking right there as they throw that quick pass. And, good job from the Brownsburg defense. Another big play right here for Brownsburg. If they can stop them here, get back the ball, defense is going to feel good about this series.
And perhaps that defense can jumpstart the offense just by the momentum. Osborne drops back. Finds a lane, takes off down the field, and he gets out of bounds there at about the 41-yard line with about 19 seconds left here in the first half. Again, Osborne is someone, if he doesn't like what he sees down the field, he's going to take that ball, tuck it, and he's gone.
He's definitely got a good set of legs. I'm interested to see this call here. If Carmel is going to go for it, it's 4th down and almost 4.5, 5 yards. And, this is one of those situations where, you got to be careful not to let your arrogance get the best of you because, if you would play the field position game with 11-point lead, it could be very beneficial to do it that way.
Osborne drops back, has a man wide open. It's going to be Max Walters there, and that is going to be enough for the first down, looks like.
Yeah, I like that. I like the actual play call, the quick 3-step drop. Guy runs an outside hitch right there. He's going to press off that defensive back. He's going to be open. Good throw, good catch. That's a well-executed 4th down play for the Carmel Greyhounds.
So after 1 quarter of play, it's the Carmel Greyhounds 11, Brownsburg nothing. We're back right after this.
The IHSAA Foundation was created to help protect and sustain education-based athletics, including events like this state tournament. High school sports are an extension of the classroom. We need your help for the youth in our
Can't put a price on peace of mind, so we don't. With Tom Wood's lifetime powertrain coverage, you're protected for unlimited miles and unlimited time, all at no cost to you. Find the car you want, the way you want at tomwood.com.
And we're back here at Brownsburg, and we'll go down to Gabe and see what he's got. Gabe, what you got?
Thank you, guys. Now, what we're seeing right now is Carmel's defense having an absolute field day, putting up 2 safeties and getting 4 points against Brownsburg. Now, Brownsburg has struggled to find their rhythm throughout the game, and Carmel's offense is looking like they're going to rack up the score a little bit more. Now, don't you dare change that channel, because we have a couple of messages from our sponsors.
All right, we're back here. Started the second quarter here with Carmel. Right now up 11-0. 2 safeties in the first quarter. Looks like Brownsburg is a little out of sorts, and so far they haven't been able to find a rhythm.
Well, definitely Brownsburg is out of sorts, but I want to also give credit to Carmel. Carmel's come out, and they pounded the football. They've thrown the ball when they need to. Their defense has made big plays. They've just executed well, and now they're in a situation to put some more points on the board.
31-yard line, 1st and 10. Osborne with the snap, hands it to Zach White. He just turns, ducks loose, gets under a player there, and I'm not sure how he got so small, but he got in there, picked up about 3 or 4 yards before he finally got knocked down.
That was one of those plays that could have been a blown-up play defensively. Instead, it picked up, 5-6 yards because we didn't, because Brownsburg didn't wrap up right there. And, that's something that these are the little things that Brownsburg's going to have to start doing because Carmel's too good for you not to play your best game.
And how big is it to hold Carmel out of the end zone on this possession here, on this series? Osborne back, and he is hit as he throws it, and the ball is actually caught down near the goal line by Jaden King with 2 guys hanging all over him.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that was an absolute dime. He threw that ball perfectly, and that's a timing play where you see he's throwing the ball before the break is even made, and then boom, he makes that catch right there. Perfect ball, perfect catch. Well done, Carmel Greyhounds.
I tell you what, they're making it look easy here tonight. I don't know if anyone expected this. If you look up and down, the schedule for Brownsburg, they've actually put up a lot of points this season.
Well, right there's that snap right there. Easy walk into the end zone right there for Carmel, and they just got everything moving on all cylinders right now. And, I'm not even seeing the fight right now for Brownsburg. And it's kind of interesting to see, you let a MIC team come on your field and you're not playing right now. You better turn around real quick.
And you see Zach White just go through there and just leaps into the end zone there before he was finally contacted. But again, Carmel, another 6 points here. Spencer Hannah here adding one more for the Greyhounds. So it's getting ugly here. 18-0 here in the second quarter, the start of the second quarter. What can Brownsburg do to at least mount some sort of attack against these Greyhounds?
Well, here's the good news is that they've been down before. They were down last week, and so they know what it's like to fight from being down. So if I'm Coach Hart, I'm on the sidelines right now, and that's exactly what I'm saying is, hey, you know what, we've been here before. It's fine. We'll get the ball back. Like, you got a D1 quarterback. You got a D1 receiver. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to have to throw them the ball. You're going to have to say, we're going to throw the ball. Now, this kind of changes your game plan a little bit, Darryl, because you're looking normally to bounce, some run, some throw.
Got to throw it down.
You're down 18 points. You're going to have to start throwing the ball a little bit to kind of get yourself back into this game. And here's the other thing. You got to give your defense some rest. They're gassed right now. They've been on the field almost the entire game. And, when you're on the field as a defense, every single play, you're exhausted. And you're seeing that right now. And Brownsburg's going to have to make some changes quickly and start executing the way they have all season long.
Well, I tell you, you spend the whole week, you're ready for this game. It's at your place. You haven't seen this team in a while. They're defending state champions, and Brownsburg's got a good team, too. They lost last year to Avon, and they come out and they start this way. That can really take a lot of the wind out of your sails, I tell you.
Well, and if you look at most of their games this year, they're averaging, between, their lowest game this year was 29 points. They've had games as high as 47 points. So they know how to put points on the board. And they've done it against, the Ben Davis and St. X and, Avon, Fishers, these other good teams. They know how to score. They just got to have to go out on the field and do it right now.
So Carmel set the kickoff. Again, this is Spencer Hannah. And Bulldogs are going to take over, open up at the 20-yard line on this particular series.
And really, here's what we're looking for is, can Brownsburg right now, can they call a few plays to get some rhythm? What I need for my quarterback to do is to feel what it's like to complete a couple passes. So a couple quick little slants, a couple little hitches, get him in the momentum of a couple quick step drops, throw the ball, playing catch, feeling confident. I think they got to have that kind of play call right now to get some momentum.
Man in motion. Easter takes the snap inside to Marcus. Marcus finds a little seam, and he cuts loose in the secondary, and great pickup just past the 50-yard line for the Bulldogs, and that is something that they need to kind of shift this momentum.
They definitely need a momentum shift. Great job breaking through the line, and you see what happens for them, once they get the ball in their hands and they get past the line of scrimmage. Great job with that play call.
So Marcus, a sophomore out here, making a difference.
What I like is the matchup down here at the bottom of the field. And let's see if they go at him and see if they can go up top and put some points on the board.
Hand off to Marcus again. He finds a hole, gets through their dances, and picks up about 7 yards before he's knocked down. He may have found something there.
He did. He got up in that hole. He hit that little shake right there and tried to get it to the outside. Good job getting up in the hole and then definitely trying to get to the outside. But this is where they got to mix it up right now because it's second down right now, and they got to mix it up. Little pitch and catch right here. You got coverage in your hand. Throw the slant.
Back to Marcus again, up the middle there. Looks like he forced his way forward there. He's close to the sticks. Let's see what the officials say. He may be just short of it. But again, finally, like you said, they're establishing some rhythm.
Yeah, and this is what happens when you start to run a couple plays. It allows you to build some of that momentum right there that they haven't been able to do.
Marcus again finds another seam. They love that middle there. He just takes it and keeps running, and now the Bulldogs are actually on the attack.
Yeah, Caleb Marcus right now is hitting the hole quick. He's getting up in there, and they're moving the chains and keeping the ball in their hands. I'd like to see him take a shot and play a little catch between, Estes and potentially Terrell a little bit. I'd like to see him take a shot downfield. Open it up a little, because here's what's going to happen. You don't throw the ball. Carmel's going to go on the sidelines right now and make an adjustment. They're going to say right now we don't have enough guys in the box. We're going to walk somebody else up. So we put 8 guys in the box so we can stop this run. And they're going to say, beat me on the outside. Show me that you can beat me on the outside. And so that's, if I'm Brownsburg right now, what I'm trying to dial up.
And we're timeout, Carmel, so let's take a quick break and come back right after this.
Tom Wood's lifetime powertrain coverage includes the 4 most important systems in your vehicle for unlimited miles and unlimited time at no cost to you. Protection from expensive repairs for a lifetime. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com.
Back here at Brownsburg High School, the high school game of the week. This sectional championship game where Carmel is actually up 18-0 here, but on this particular drive, Brownsburg has found something.
They definitely have. They started to move the chains, but they're doing it with the run game. Caleb Marcus is hitting the hole quick, but not just hitting the hole quick. He's finding some room, some space. He can get outside and get up the field. The question that I have right now as I'm watching this game, thinking what the defensive coordinator's hat is, okay, I'm going to just go ahead and put the guys in the box. I'm going to stop them. Will they throw the ball at this point in time?
So Marcus is checked out, and they got Brandon Burks back there, the senior. We got Terrell with the reception there. Quick move there. He takes the ball all the way down to the 15-yard line. So actually a great play call by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, all they did was they stretched him out right there. Carmel put 8 guys in the box to stop the run.
There's Burks. He finds a hole. He gets around the right side there, and he takes it just inside the 5-yard line.
That has to be a flag right there. They had 12 guys on the field. The guy was still running off the field.
Well, who's counting? Here we go. Easter, quick snap. Burks up the middle. He is close, and he is in the end zone. So Brownsburg strikes back.
Yeah, and they did that with just the run game right there. They had the one little pass right there, but this is the Brownsburg that all these fans sitting in these stands are going, yes, where were you? Hey, thanks for showing up in the second quarter. And now Brownsburg is alive.
Well, I tell you, sometimes you have to just go back to who you are. Sometimes you come out and you start the game with nerves, and perhaps that's what happened to Brownsburg.
Yeah, and they did. They were pinned down. They had terrible field position. The turnover, it started to unravel really quick, and I'm glad to see Brownsburg was able to gain control, put 7 points on the board so we can make this competitive here in the sectional championship.
Well, I tell you what, this is probably a touchdown. They had to have a touchdown on this possession there as we see Burks get to the end zone for the touchdown. So 18-7 here in the second quarter. We're going to take a quick break and be right back after this.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of FrontRunner Media's Next Generation Initiative. Thanks to FrontRunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
All right, back here at Brownsburg High School, DMJ, Travis Brown. And let's throw it down to Gabe real quick and see what he's got. Gabe, what you got?
Now what we just saw is Brownsburg's first offensive points of the game. And quite frankly, let's see if they can continue to do this. With the home field advantage and a rallied crowd, let's hope they get a little bit more. Back to you guys upstairs. All right,
let's see what happens here. The offense is here now. Let's see what the Brownsburg defense can do once the Carmel Greyhounds get the ball back here.
Well, this is where it's like, how aggressive can you be for Brownsburg? you throw in a wrinkle like an onside kick right here and really try to change momentum? Will your defense, step up and be the great defense right now? There's a lot of questions right now and a lot of nervous parents and fans in the stands.
And here's the kick here, and it's going to be received. And looks like a little razzle-dazzle on the part of the Greyhounds. And actually, that was a great play called there. That's number 35 here with the ball. Actually, great. That's Duffy, actually. Little razzle-dazzle.
Yeah, a little something from Carmel right there, keeping them honest and, getting around that corner and, just breaking it up a little bit. So I like that, Now what I want to see from Carmel is, can they ball control and put more points on the board, to keep this thing rolling the way that they are?
Well, if really, the Brownsburg defense hasn't played bad at all.
No, they just have been on the field way too much, and it's been pretty challenging. And we're going to see Carmel flex them out a little bit and run the ball probably again.
Osborne hands off to Zach White. He gets around the edge there, but not too much before he's knocked out of bounds. Again, the Brownsburg defense is stretching them out and knocking them out of bounds.
The coaches are going crazy on the sidelines going, hey, how about those two hands right in the back? He blocked our guy into the tackle. Kind of worked out for us, but, hey, that little yellow thing, it's okay to throw that out there.
So it's going to be a loss of 2, second down and 12. Ball is on the 30-yard line. Osborne drops back. Pitched it over the middle there. Nice reception there, and a nice pickup almost to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, you know what? I thought Osborne did a great job right there, just standing in the pocket and delivering. He knew where he wanted to go down the field. He looked at option number 1, which is all the way down the field of Colton Parker, and then he checked it down right across the middle to Jaden King right there.
King right there
for an easy completion and an easy first down.
And he's found King a few times this evening so far. So inside handoff. Pitches it outside there, and I tell you what, I got fooled on that one. That's actually number 23 there on the run there, and that is Jordan Jones.
Well, you got fooled because that's what they've been doing all day long. They've been giving that to the fullback right there. He decided to pull it, and at the college level a lot you see that's a read option right there, and they're reading the defensive end. If he crashes down, you pull the ball out, and the defensive end stays out, you give the ball away, and that's a good read right there for Carmel. Whether they call that from upstairs or it was on the field read, it was a well-executed play. Osborne
keeps it himself and forges ahead to the first down. It's going to be very close to the sticks, and let's see if he has enough to move the chains, and looks like he does.
I love that old school option football. And I say old school because it came from old school. But look, he rides him right in there. He looks at number 51 who crashed down. He pulled that ball out, and he hit the corner. The linebacker ran and covered the pitch guy, so he just tucked it up, and he got the yards he needed.
Protected it when he got hit, too. So, again, Carmel's, after giving up that touchdown, they've actually kind of gathered themselves and they're taking their time and just doing what they do and moving the ball down the field.
Blitz coming. Picked up well.
That's number 23 again. That's Jordan Jones.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're calling offense and plays, you're guessing what the defense is going to do. And the defense, you're guessing what the offense is going to do, and sometimes you guess right. Right there, the situation that the linebacker blitzed in one of the holes, and number 23 is going right past him in the other hole, and they just missed. It's kind of been how Brownsburg has been today. They're just a little bit off, missing just a little bit, trying to tighten those things up. And they got to do that with a stop against Carmel right here.
Nothing worse than watching the guy, you wave at him as he's going by you. You're supposed to tackle him here. Osborne with the snap. Drops back, and he is going nowhere. The Bulldogs were all over that. Number 51, one of the guys there, and that is Isaiah Street.
Yeah, and that big and the big number 8 right there. Is that Jaden?
That's Jackson. That's Manny Jackson there.
What a just a great job wrapping him up, and that was a big second down play right there. They need another one if they want to break this momentum that Carmel has. And if I'm Carmel, I'm thinking about a quick little 3-step drop. I'm throwing it to probably one of my talented receivers, and I'm going to try to keep it moving.
3rd and 3. Osborne tucks it down, and he is going nowhere. The Bulldogs hold. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, just a good job from the defense. And what I don't know is was that a called draw, or did he just get too impatient with the pocket collapsing right there and got a little bit of quick feet and pulled that ball down and ran? You know, he had receivers, but he could have had receivers, but he didn't even take enough time to see them. So that might have been a called draw.
Well, I'll tell you, the pocket did collapse relatively fast there.
And based upon that previous sack, he said, I'm not going to wait too long to figure out what's going to happen.
And looks like it's going to be fair caught by Terrell right around the 7-yard line. It's one of those situations where if you put your feet on the 10-yard line there, you let that travel into the end zone there, do you take that chance?
I got a story for you, Daryl. So about 25 years ago, my high school team was playing Brownsburg in Lafayette, Indiana, with McCutcheon High School. We were number 4, and they were number 3, and I was that guy on the deep right there, and that punt right there from a great punter who went to play at Purdue, I dropped that punt on the 14-yard line. My defense came in, and I was on the defense too, and we were able to stop that because my guys had to bail me out from that situation right there of dropping a punt on the 10-yard line.
Well, what we want to know is what did your coach say to you?
He said, well, since I played defense too, he said, better get your butt back out there and stop that.
All right, here we go. Looks like that is Burks again. Actually, that's Marcus. They actually do a quick job getting these guys in and out between Burks and Marcus there, so that's a sophomore.
Yeah, for those people at home, if you're looking at number 20 and number 6, both of them, are really quick backs that hit the hole really hard, and that's a great weapon to be able to have right there. And you're seeing once they get that thing going, it's really hard to stop, and it's just a matter of getting it going and keeping it going for Brownsburg.
It looks like Brownsburg is going to call timeout here. Looks like there's someone down there, so it's going to take a little time. And what we're going to do is step away for a quick second and be back right after this. This is the MIC Network. And we're back here at Brownsburg High School, where the Carmel Greyhounds are up 18-7 with 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. And that we thought that Brownsburg had started to find something here. And let's see what happens here as we head toward halftime.
The great Dick Vitale used to say, Uncle Mo is on somebody's side. And, Carmel has had it all night. What needs to happen right now is Brownsburg has to shift this, and they can do that if they can put this ball in the end zone and go into the locker room 14-18. That'll be a big momentum shift.
Easters drops back and overshoots his intended target there.
He did, but here's a good thing is that when you know that you really want to run the ball, you gotta throw the ball too. You gotta keep the defense off balance. If not, they'll just cram everybody in the box and they'll shut down your run game. So you gotta open it up. You gotta let them know that you're not afraid to throw the ball down the field. So the other guy has to be a little bit more conservative with his defensive calls.
And the intended target was Diallo there, just out of his reach there. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 6. Marcus to the right. Easter takes a snap, looks back, rolls out. Nice reception, nice throw, nice pitch, nice catch. We got a 1st down. That's going to be number 5, Lacey.
Yeah, that's a great-looking ball right there, and he's a big-time D1 quarterback going to Kansas, is that right?
Kansas State.
Kansas State, the way that he moved right there, and the way he put that ball on the dime, that's what I've been looking for all night.
Marcus up the middle again, keeps his legs moving. I tell you, for a small guy, he can really run the football on the inside there.
Yeah, he does. He's really shifty on the inside. He gets up in there. He finds a little hole, kind of a little scat back is what we used to call him, and he does a good job with that and creating a lot of room, a lot of space. There's a lot of big guys in there for a little guy like him.
Gain 4 yards on that. Second down and 6. 3:40 left here in the second quarter.
For the 38.
Easter inside the Marcus again. Protects the ball and moves forward.
Should be enough just for a first down and to move the change. And here's what I like about this right now is running some clock, because what you want to do is you want to be able to drive this ball all the way down, punch it in right before the end of the halftime, go in on that momentum high of being only down 4 points. I think if Brownsburg can get that done right now, man, this is a heck of a moral victory, and they're in a great situation if they can go into halftime only down 4 points.
And they get the ball coming out of the locker room as well. Man in motion. Snap. Inside hand to Marcus. And he is taken down with no gain there. So,
yeah, classic situation that happened. I've been talking about they got to protect, and that is, Carmel just said, you know what, we're going to play man on the outside. We're going to put the 9 guys in the box, and we're going to make you throw the ball or do something different. We're not going to allow you to run right there. And this becomes the chess match of who can out-call who.
Easter's got some big-time receivers as he lets one go here, and it is going to be just off Terrell's hand, out of bounds. The coaches want a penalty, but a little bit of contact there, but the ball was out of bounds, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Well, just a really good defensive play right there. No contact, definitely not a penalty on that, and I'm not even sure if the ball was catchable. Now, I will say, Tamaris Springfield, you got to watch himself. He's getting a little chippy over there. I know it's a little bit of fun when you go into that sidelines right there. The cheerleaders and the fans are yelling at you, but don't get a stupid penalty. Being in that scenario where now you hurt your team and you help lose momentum. But this is a big 3rd down. This is a must pick up for Brownsburg, in my opinion. Probably going to have to take a timeout and even think about it as the play clock is running out on them.
So timeout here. 18-7. Let's take a quick break and come right back after this.
Vehicles, same model, same color, same price. The difference? The Tom Wood vehicle is a better value because it comes with our exclusive lifetime powertrain coverage at no cost to you. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com.
Back here at Brownsburg High School, just before halftime, and Brownsburg, we thought they had something here, 3rd down and 10. Like you said, this is probably they have to pick up this and try to get something before half, because if you give Carmel the ball back and they go down and get something, they have a fantastic kicker. This could be problematic.
Well, we talked about momentum, and here's the situation that Carmel's in is, if I'm defensive coordinator at Carmel, I'm probably going to get pretty aggressive. I'm probably going to blitz. I'm going to bring guys, and I'm going to see if I can stir the pot, because here's the thing. If I can get the ball back with 2 minutes to go, put more points on the board yet this half, I can switch that around, and as my man Dickie V says, Uncle Mo will be in this stadium, and it won't be on Brownsburg's side.
All right. So, again, in terms of momentum, this is a far cry from what we saw in the first quarter, because we saw a lot of mistakes by Brownsburg, and the seniors have cleaned that up a little bit.
Well, and they're uncharacteristic mistakes. That fumble right there, then the safety, and again a safety, just things we haven't normally seen. So here's what I'm looking to see, this chess match right now. It looks like Carmel's coming. Will they bring those backers right there? Will they blitz, or will they back off and they play coverage? Here they come.
Empty backfield. Easters puts it up in the air, and it's actually going to nobody. So, again, that's going to bring up 4th down, and the punting unit's going to have to come on. The intended target there was number 20, and, of course, we know that's Caleb Marcus.
Yeah, an unfortunate series right there for Brownsburg. They got caught up in the play call. Carmel's defense adjusted, put them into the box, and Brownsburg didn't make the adjustment, shut them down, and forced them to make 2 long pass plays. And now they're giving the ball back to Carmel with 2 minutes to go in this game, or in the half.
So fair catch called for and made. It's going to be by Colton Parker. So the Brownsburg is going to have to play defense against these Greyhounds, and the ball's going to be just over the 15 and about the 17-yard line. Now, 2:12. If you're Carmel, do you take a shot here? Do you absolutely move the ball down the field to try to get in range to get some points out of this?
Well, if you're Carmel and you have a little bit of confidence based on what you've done, you got a senior quarterback, you're going to take some shots down the field. This is how you really put people in a position to fold, is when you put pressure on them. And if Carmel can go down and score right now, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Brownsburg.
Easter, inside handoff to Zach White. He finds a seam there and takes it ahead. He's going to have enough for the first down. So the sticks are going to move.
And a lot of teams, what they do in this situation, Daryl, is they on first down, they try. They see what happens. If they don't really get anything on first down, they'll try again on second down. And if that doesn't happen right, then they'll just go ahead and run the ball out, put the clock on there, and take their medicine. But in Carmel's situation, they're moving the ball.
The snap, Osborne back to White, and he goes ahead forward for about 3. And so that's another situation where you want to test and see what you can get before you decide what you're going to do.
Well, I think because they're on the 25-yard line at this point in time, I would have thought they would have taken a shot down the field a little bit. Carmel's got a great receiving core. If they're really trying to put points on the board, they're going to have to put the ball in the air, because a ground and pound with only a minute and 36 seconds is not going to get it done for them.
And it looks like the officials there are trying to sort some things out.
Looks like there's a penalty.
After the play was over, dead ball, personal foul.
Got a personal foul.
15-yard penalty from the dead
So
ball
I'll tell you what, that's not going to help Brownsburg, because that's going to be a dead ball 15-yard penalty. And so that's going to take the ball all the way to about the 45-yard line. And now things change if you're Carmel, because, again, you have a great kicker in Spencer Hanna. 1:36 left.
And right now, if I'm Carmel, I'm trying to throw the ball down the field and put seven points on this board right now with the talent that they have.
Osborne drops back over the middle. And that ball was intended for Parker, and it went off his hands and was almost picked off.
Yeah, it looked like the ball was a little bit behind him. And, as a receiver, when you're running full speed that way and that ball's just a little bit behind you like that, that becomes a really difficult catch.
Tell you what, he had him. Like I said, it was just behind him there.
Yeah, behind him, but a little bit up and behind him, but definitely he was open. And that's my point. I think Carmel can get their guys running down the field rampant, open all night long, and this is a good time for it.
Second down. Osborne tries to elude the tackles back there, but he can't get loose, and he is taken down, so that's going to bring up third down. So Brownsburg defense stands tall. Big number 99 there on the stop there. And that's
Carmel, this is their second team charge.
Yeah, and that's a good defensive pressure right there for Brownsburg. I mean, here's the good news is when you know that a team is going to drop back and pass, you kind of pin your ears back and you go as hard as you can to go at that quarterback, and that's what they're able to do. It wouldn't surprise me on this third down right now is if Carmel doesn't try some sort of a draw where, they make it look like they're going to throw the ball, but, man, they hand the ball off to that fullback right there and see if he can get out in the open. Outside of that, the other option is they're going to get receivers open down the field. The offensive line has to give them enough time to be able to to be able to throw that pass.
all right. And if you're looking for custom design apparel for your company or organization, you'll win every time you team up with the folks at Brand Visions. No order is too small or too large. So before you pay too much, get a quote from Brand Visions. Contact them at brandvisions.com.
Now as I'm looking at this, the state of this game right now with 1:11 to go, this is a chance for Carmel to either just run 2 plays and try to run out the clock, which I don't think they're going to do, or design a play, put your guys in a position, and try to get some more points on the board before you get into halftime.
So 3rd down, 13, 1:11 left here in the second quarter. Carmel up 18-7. Osborne drops back, looks over the middle there, and that ball is it is picked off, tipped around, and looks like it is caught by number 5, and that is Luke Lacey.
Yeah, basically what you're seeing now is Brownsburg put 2 of their best athletes on defense right there and said, hey, Terrell, Lacey, you're going to have to lace it up and do it. But this is a really poor decision right there. As you can see, he threw that ball right into double coverage right there. Brownsburg made a play, and now the question is, will Brownsburg throw that down the field to change that momentum like we talked about?
Uncle Mo.
Uncle Mo's back in the stadium.
And then you hear the Brownsburg fans. You know, we talked about, you know, if this were not during COVID, what this place would look like in terms of the fans. This is actually a pretty good crowd out here tonight.
Yeah, I think that, you know, everybody's interested in this game, and they know how big and important it is, and they definitely want to see it happen.
Easters finds Terrell. He gets out of bounds, looks like.
Yeah, that's that rhythm pass that I was talking about earlier, like just little catch, like your backyard, you and your buddy. You've been doing this for years. Throw me the ball, catch it. Let me make something happen. Do that a couple times. Let that DB get a little bit jumpy, and then you beat him down the field.
Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5. Ball's on the 46-yard line. Easters drops back. He's looking, takes off now. Slides in right at the markers. Looks like he might be a little short, but 52 seconds left in the half. Brownsburg. Looks like they're going to get a timeout here, and we'll do the same here. So let's take away for a break. We'll be right back after this.
They have 1 remaining, 95 seconds.
2 vehicles, same model, same color, same price. The difference? The Tom Wood vehicle is a better value because it comes with our exclusive lifetime powertrain coverage at no cost to you. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com.
All right, back here at Brownsburg High School. Excited this sectional championship game between the Brownsburg Bulldogs and the Carmel Greyhounds, where Carmel was on top, 18-7.
We got some potential fireworks happening right here, and you know, who's going to capitalize in these last 52 seconds? Carmel had the opportunity, and they threw it away, literally. And now we have, you know, Brownsburg with a chance to put these points on the board. And listen, you know, right now that S has the ability to throw this ball in the end zone. They have the big play capability with their wide receivers, Lacey and Terrell. They got to trust them, and they got to try to put some points on the board. And here's what I'm going to say right now. I believe if they are able to put points on this board, it's going to change the whole scope of the second half, and Brownsburg can win this game. If they don't put points on the board in this half right now, they're going to struggle with momentum and doing something in the second half.
And Lacey and Terrell, we know they have big-time receivers. They just have not been targeted, you know, that much tonight.
And with as many points as they normally put on the board, you know that they normally do this. So, you know, here's a situation where, you know, they got to turn it around and put some points on this board.
So as the officials, looks like there's still something they want to discuss here. It's one of those situations with the officials, you know, you have to get all on the same page before you start this thing. You don't want to get going and not know what's going on.
It's like Coach Hart's trying to figure it all out.
3rd down.
So 3rd down and 1. Burks behind Easters. Takes the handoff, and he gets enough for the 1st down. He's going to be right at the sticks. Let's see if the officials mark him as gains enough.
And here's what's happening right now. Coach Hart's like, hey, you got to be on the ball. As soon as he puts that ball down, blows the whistle, you got to be set because the clock's going to start running.
So hurry up. Here's Easters, and he actually thought he had Terrell there on the slant there, and he just overthrew him. They just weren't on the same page.
And Terrell wasn't looking. Now, I want to back up a second because here's what they did in that last timeout. They called that run play, and they said as soon as you get the 1st down, line back up on the ball, and then we're going to run this play. Great job from the coaching staff to call those double plays. They just didn't execute the second one because Terrell was open. He wasn't looking, but he was open.
He definitely was open here. 2nd down, 10 yards to go here. Easters takes the snaps, drops back, and a great reception.
Yeah.
It's going to be Lacey again.
Well, and that's a great combination route right there, because what they did with number 1 right there, Terrell, was they ran him off to move the DB out. They ran the outright, set it up perfectly, little pitch and catch.
So the ball's at the 35-yard line, and Brownsburg is moving. Easters. He's going for the end zone there, and it's going to be intercepted, it looks like, but there is a flag down. Let's see what the officials are going to call. The ball was intercepted.
Well, it definitely was intercepted by Solomon Williams, but it's going to come back because there's pass interference right about the 15-yard line on Terrell right there, and it's unfortunate because the DB was trying to do his job, which is to force him out of bounds that way. Got a little bit too handsy right there. Referee was on it. Also, you're on the Brownsburg sideline, so you got a chance to see that pass interference.
I tell you what, Solomon made a great play on the ball there.
Absolutely. He made a great play right there. The challenge was Springfield got a little bit too handsy, a little too physical, and got the penalty. And I think they're going to go right back at him right here, one-on-one with Terrell.
Ball from 20. Easters drops back. He's looking. And the reception is made. It looks like that is going to be Terrell right there at about the 11-yard line. It looks like that is going to be that's coming back because there is a penalty.
Oh, holding.
It's going to be a holding penalty, so that's going to negate the great catch by Terrell on the sideline there. So we're at 25 seconds left here in the second quarter.
Well, here's the good news right now is they're starting to play, starting to throw the ball, catch the ball, getting Terrell involved in this game right here. For him being a big-time D1 guy, I was a little bit concerned not seeing him involved in the offense the way that you would like them. And now we're starting to see that right there, and you start to see how they move the ball. The penalty, that hurts right now, but they still have 2 or 3 shots at this end zone to try to put some points on this board.
Well, like we talked about, you mentioned it, quite nicely in the first quarter and early in this quarter that the nerves were probably there, and looks like those are gone, and they're starting to play a little bit better football now.
Yeah, this is definitely a better quality of football, and what we're used to seeing. Wow. What is he?
Terrell and Lacey stacked up the top. Drops back. Easter does. He looks, and overshoots his receiver. His intended target there was Lacey, so it's going to bring up second down and 28.
So there's a big mistake right there from a senior quarterback, is not understanding that because of that penalty right there that they were going to start the clock. There's 27 seconds on the clock, and he was taking his time like he was in no hurry, and he snapped that ball with about 10 seconds, costing them probably an extra play that they could have used.
So this may be, in fact, the last play of the half. 7 seconds here. The ball is snapped. Easter takes a hit and throws it out of bounds there.
Yeah, I mean, so at this point in time, they're going to be able to take one last shot in the end zone and see if they can make a play.
So third down, and it's going to be a long way, but that doesn't matter. Again, 2.9 seconds left here in the second, and we know pretty much they're going to go for the end zone here.
Well, everybody in real life knows that saying called Hail Mary. And this is getting ready to be that right there. 3 guys are going to run down there. They're going to try to give the quarterback enough time, and then he's just going to try to throw it up there.
Easters.
And see if
the ball toward the end zone, and it's up, and it is batted down. So that's going to bring us to the end of the half, where Carmel on top of the Bulldogs, 18-7 here at half at Brownsburg. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after these messages.
Thank you, calling Pop John's Cumberland. This is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here. I know, right?
At Tom Wood, we believe you can't put a price on peace of mind, so we don't. With Tom Wood's lifetime powertrain coverage, you're protected for unlimited miles and unlimited time, all at no cost to you. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com. Wood's lifetime powertrain coverage includes the 4 most important systems in your vehicle for unlimited miles and unlimited time at no cost to you. Protection from expensive repairs for a lifetime. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com.
Thank you, calling Pop John's Cumberland. This is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here.
Give me my Papa John's.
The cheese is my favorite. I love the plain.
Is that Supreme? Good. Chicken.
I really like it.
They scored touchdowns here. You gotta be able to get these guys off the field to get the game. Nice punt.
Yeah.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
2 vehicles, same model, same color, same price. The difference? The Tom Wood vehicle is a better value because it comes with our exclusive lifetime powertrain coverage at no cost to you. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
Well, welcome back to the Friday night sectional game in Indiana. Friday Night Lights. We have Carmel leading 18-7 over Brownsburg. A little bit of a shock, but right now at halftime I got Kyle Niedrich from Indianapolis Star. You guys seen all of his articles, all his stuff. He is the guy when it comes to sports here in Indiana. So I want to take us back because this season's been one like we've not seen before, obviously. Talk about how football has been different to cover it this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's been bizarre. It's been interesting. It's been, and in most ways, I think it's been fulfilling for kids to be able to get back out there and play, even though the crowds are diminished. And you know, a night like tonight, you'd come up here and the parking lot would be full and people be partying and tailgating and none of that stuff. So it's sort of weird, you know, but at the same time, it's been a lot of fun for the most part just to have the season and just be able to play football this year. And that's kind of the main thing.
You know, obviously covering football in Indiana is always exciting to see some of the great teams. Right now there's a lot of great games. So let's start with this Brownsburg game right now. Tell me a little bit about this game because, you know, I think a lot of people felt like Brownsburg would be a lot more competitive. They struggled in the first half. You know, what are you seeing from this game?
You know, I've seen Brownsburg quite a bit this year. They can run the ball really well, and we saw that on their touchdown drive. You know, Caleb Marcus, Brandon Burks, once they get going, it's a hard offense to stop. And I think they had something going there in that last drive, too. The holding call kind of pushed them out of range. If they score there, all of a sudden it's 18-14, and you're feeling pretty good. But the first quarter, I just felt like, I don't know if you did, but it just felt like they were nervous or a little bit out of sorts. And you know, turnovers and the safeties obviously just kill you in a game where you need all those possessions to count. So
Sure.
It feels like they're playing from behind. You're down 18-0, and you got to kind of speed things up. And I thought they played with a little bit more pace after they got behind, and they're going to have to keep that up second half. They could have used some points there for sure at the end of the half.
And really the question I have for you is, you know, you've seen them play a lot. Do they have the firepower to come back and make this game competitive?
They do. I mean, Luke Lacey, Preston Terrell, I mean, those guys are playmakers. And if Ben Easters can hit them, if he can have time to throw, and that's been an issue at times as well tonight. But I think they're going to try. They came out against Avon last week and really ran the ball in the second half really well. I think that's what they're going to try to hang their hat on in the second half, and then mix in those throws to Lacey and
Sure.
Terrell.
You know, moving around the MIC on MIC Network, we play favoritism to all of our favorite MIC teams. So a couple other games around the way. So we got Ben Davis, which seems to be a game that they're probably going to win pretty easily.
Yeah, the Perry Meridians, you know, they hadn't won a game in 23 games till they beat Tech last week. Pretty good sectional draw for Ben Davis this year.
Yep.
So I think we'll be seeing them next year. The team that's got progressively better throughout the course of the season.
And then over on the east side, we have Warren Central, who has battled all year long, a real rebuilding season for them, but they're up 14-7 at halftime. Can they hold off in that game?
You know, that's the interesting game, I think, in the MIC this week because, you know, can Ellen get over the hump and win can they win a trophy game? And they haven't done it in 30 years. You know, they played Warren. They beat them pretty handily earlier this year. Can you do it again? You know, that's the question. And Warren, they're the ones who've been there so many times and done it. So, you know, that's the interesting game. You know, I know McCauley and Cooper and those guys, this is really, you know, the one they want. And it'll be interesting to see if they can get it.
And then I think the big question really that everybody has is, can anybody compete with Center Grove? Or is the trophy already theirs and everybody else is playing for second?
Well, the way Carmel's playing tonight, it makes you wonder if they see each other. That would be the semi-state round. And I know that was a blowout earlier this year, but I think Carmel's, you know, what we've seen tonight, they're playing a lot better. So I think that would be a test for them. But I mean, Center Grove's so good defensively. That defensive line, I don't think I've seen one as good at the high school level. And then you haven't even talked about Carson Steele and Taven Jackson yet. So, you know, that's just a great team. It could go down in history if they win all the games as one of the all-time best.
When you look back on this season with COVID and all the different changes, what's something that's going to be a great memory for you thinking back on this football season?
I think just having a seat, you know, and I think still to come, we'll find out, like when the trophies are hoisted at Lucas Oil Stadium, and hopefully all 6 of those games can be played. And I think that's still you know, you kind of look and hope just, are they going to be able to play the games? And that's kind of where we're at right now. And you know, if we do that and get through the season, I think that's a victory. That's a memory I'll always have from this year.
Well, Kyle, thank you for joining us on the Halftime Show. We look forward to seeing your articles and all the things you write about all the great players and all the coverage that you have, and just doing a great job, just bringing to life all the things that you see all year long. So we thank you so much. And I think we were only able to do elbows these days, so thanks for being on the Halftime Show. We're going to take it to commercial. We'll come right back and have the second half.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation Initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
2 vehicles, same model, same color, same price. The difference? The Tom Wood vehicle is a better value because it comes with our exclusive lifetime powertrain coverage at no cost to you. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com.
Thank you, Pop Jones. Cumberland, this is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here.
Tom Wood's lifetime powertrain coverage includes the 4 most important systems in your vehicle for unlimited miles and unlimited time at no cost to you. Protection from expensive repairs for a lifetime. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com.
DMJ Travis Brown back here at Brownsburg High School. Carmel up 18-7. We expected a high scoring affair. What's going on?
Well, I really believe that when Brownsburg came out, they just weren't ready to play. And by ready, meaning not that they hadn't prepared, not that they haven't practiced. I think the anxiety level, the excitement, they just were a little bit uneasy, and Carmel took advantage of that. Carmel jumped out and put some early points on the board, and they've made it tough for Brownsburg the rest of the night.
And I tell you, Carmel came out, as you can see, that was the quarterback there. Osborne getting a nice run there. But at the end, you see Brownsburg, the turnover started to kill them.
Yeah, and whether it was nerves or whether it was just not being ready for the game, you can't come out in this type of game, turn the ball over, and then turn around and give it back to them. Now, the defense made an awesome stop right here, but the offense, again, turned around and gave them the safety, and that just changed the game. And not only did they do it once, but they did it twice.
They did, and I tell you what, like I said, the one bright spot for Brownsburg has been the defense on occasion. They have actually played well. It's just those safeties kind of got them kind of off kilter a little bit and got Carmel up.
And Carmel has so much firepower to run the ball, to throw the ball. It's going to be very important to be able to stop them early on in this half if they're going to try to compete. You can't make plays like this and give them easy points. You're going to have to stop them and put some points on the board for yourself.
And Zach White there goes airborne in for the end zone there. So again, Carmel's. Let's see if they can come out here in the second half and kind of continue what they've done.
Well, here's the good news, Daryl, is they have the firepower to do it. When you have that type of quarterback, you have that type of run game, you can put points on the board. They're just going to have to go do it.
And Easters and Brownsburg, he's got to maybe perhaps target his guys, his big-time guys a little bit more here in the second half.
Well, they're going to try to use the run game a little bit, but they're going to have to throw the ball because they're down. So it'll be interesting to see what the play call looks like as we move in the second half.
All right, let's throw it down to Gabe. What you got?
Just before both teams went to the half, I believe what we saw was a Brownsburg team with a little bit of momentum and aggravation. With the momentum, they picked up an interception and they got a pass interference call down at the 20-yard line. And right before both teams went to the locker room, I spoke with one of the Brownsburg coaches, and he said the fight is not over, and this does not stop until the last whistle blows. Now back to you guys up top.
All right, this is DMJ Travis Brown back here at Brownsburg High School. We'll be back right after this.
At Tom Wood, we believe you can't put a price on peace of mind, so we don't. With Tom Wood's lifetime powertrain coverage, you're protected for unlimited miles and unlimited time, all at no cost to you. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
Thank you, calling Pop John's Cumberland. This is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here.
Give me my Papa John's.
The cheese's my favorite. I love the plain.
Is that Supreme? Good. Chicken.
I really like it.
Network name of the week. They scored touchdowns here. You gotta be able to get these guys off the field to get ready to have a nice punt.
Yeah.
Two vehicles, same model, same color, same price. The difference? The Tom Wood vehicle is a better value because it comes with our exclusive lifetime powertrain coverage at no cost to you. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com.
Back here at Brownsburg High School where the Carmel Greyhounds are on top 18-7 just as we begin to start the third quarter. And Travis, Brownsburg, they're 2-0 after trailing at the half.
Well, that's the good news for Brownsburg is, again, they're trailing at the half. The bad news is you're playing one of the best teams in the state of Indiana, a champion, the defending champs, and, they didn't come here to lose. And so this is going to be a heck of a fight with the number 4 Brownsburg Bulldogs against the Carmel Greyhounds.
I tell you, they knocked off their rival last week, Avon, coming back, beating them twice this season. This is a little different task here tonight, as you mentioned.
What I do think is encouraging, though, is they're accustomed, like I said earlier, of putting up 30, 40 points a game. And what we need to see, though, is that connection, between Estes and Terrell and or Lacey, and there's a couple other guys out there that can catch that ball. They're going to want to run the ball because that's what they do really well, but they're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to have to be balanced, and they're going to have to put the points on the board early. And here's why. Their guys have to have confidence that they can compete in this game.
All right, as we're set here, Brownsburg's going to receive the ball to start the second half. Nice little run there, and that's there's a seam there. And that's going to be a great return there, but again, there might be a penalty there. In fact, there is. That's going to be a face mask. So that was a great return by number 14 for the Brownsburg Bulldogs, and that is Miles Jr.
Well,
Miles Jr. Sorry about that.
The good news is that's a great run. The personal foul, face mask, another 15 yards on top of that, and this is how you wanted to start off the second half if you're Brownsburg.
And so the halftime speech probably took.
Yeah, somebody gave him a halftime speech, or that was just a good play, and we're going to see if the speech really worked next.
And if you're Carmel, not a way you want to start the second half.
This is where momentum starts right here, and I'm really interested to see what this play calling sequence looks like. Brownsburg loves to run the ball, but I believe they're going to have to throw the ball to beat Carmel tonight.
Esther takes a snap, hands it up to Marcus, and he gets inside, and he does not get back to the line of scrimmage.
One of the things I'm looking at in this second half is Carmel's defense and what adjustments did they make. Everybody has a game plan going into a game. Really what happens is how well can you adjust to what the other team does. And I'm looking at Carmel right now. They got their 3 down linemen, 4 down linemen. They got their backs. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Looks like here comes the flag there. There was a jump there, and that's going to be another 5 yards tacked on.
What I think you're going to start seeing Carmel do is put, at least 7 guys in the box, if not 8 guys, and basically play some form of man or soft, zone coverage behind it so that they can really focus on stopping this run from Brownsburg.
And as Marcus again takes the snap there, finds a little seam there and takes it up close to the sticks there. It's going to be maybe a little short there. Bring up third down to maybe 1, perhaps 2.
And I also like the momentum change here. Let's speed up the game a little bit and see if we can't get that to change things a little bit for Brownsburg.
Marcus tries to get to the edge, didn't quite get there before he's taken down. So,
but it looks like it'll still be enough for the first down. And this is a good first couple plays for Brownsburg, and we know that they can run the ball. They're going to come out and they're going to run the ball. My still question is can they throw it too?
Can they throw it? And if you look at their stats, that's been their bread and butter this year is tossing the football. We talked about the guys that they can throw it to, and Lacey and Terrell just got to get those guys involved.
Yeah, and I didn't see a
penalty, but it looks like the officials are going to. Okay, it's a chop block below the waist, and so they're going to mark that off. It's going to be a 10-yarder. So we talked about, Brownsburg. I mean, you're doing some great things. Then all of a sudden you put yourself in a situation where now it's 3rd and 15. That just kind of cancels the momentum that you were building.
Yeah, you went from a first down to, to this situation right here. And, these are the plays that they're going to have to make tonight. And, I'm not sure you can do that just running the football.
Esther's taking the snap, drops back, he's got time, puts it up, and that ball is going to be knocked away at the last minute. That was intended for Terrell there. Great defense by Carmel. That was number 7, and that is Owen Schaefer with the ball that was batted away at the last second.
And here's what I'm looking for is, in situations like this, what are you, what's the goal here? Because taking a shot at the end zone right there versus, looking at 20 yards down the field is a little bit different. And this is an interesting play here because, it's 4th down, and, I think you should have looked at it as 2-down territory versus kicking this ball, which is, probably going to be an end zone ball.
Looks like it's going to be a little short there. It's going to take a Brownsburg bounce, and it's going to travel just inside the 10-yard line.
All right, well, that worked out well for them then and pinning them down in field position. But, to have that kick return and to come out with that momentum, knowing that you're trying to change the tone, it's a very disappointing, series if you're Brownsburg.
So if you're the Bulldogs, it hinges on what happens here on this series for Carmel. If you're able to kind of shut them down and flip the field, certainly things can work in your favor.
Carmel starting at the 10-yard line.
Osborne keeps it, pitches it out, and there is nothing there. Number 23, Jordan Jones, was met in the backfield.
Yeah, that's a good play right there, coming up and making that tackle on first down and setting the tone for the defense. If we're not careful, their defense is going to have to start making some bigger plays and maybe putting some points on the board if you're Brownsburg.
Ashton Garnett with the tackle there. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 12. Again, Carmel up 18-7 here in the 3rd quarter, 9:34.
I like Jaden across the middle there.
And there's Zach White, nothing.
What's interesting is I feel like both these teams have come out in the second half and got real conservative. And, that's, for Carmel, they're in a ball control situation, and that might work if that's part of their game plan. I'm not so sure that's going to work for Brownsburg. But I do know this is right here. This is the big 3rd down right now. If they can stop them and get that field position back, put your offense back on the field again.
3rd and 3. Is this a safe play for Carmel?
Safe play for Carmel is to pass the ball to one of their stars.
Osborne flush out of the pocket there. Finds, throws over the middle there, and it looks like the ball is going to be short. It hit the turf. Its intended target there was Billups. excuse me, that was Max Walters, his intended target there. Just bounced into his arms there, so Carmel will be punting the football.
Well, right now, I don't know if something happened, rolled ankle, but this is not a good sign for Carmel right now to have
Osborne down.
And looks like he's in quite a bit of pain right there. I can't tell if it's an ankle or a knee, but you hate to see any of the competitors in this situation. So
I'll tell you what, Colton Parker is the backup here, but we'll see what happens here. We're going to step away and come back right after this.
At Tom Wood, we believe you can't put a price on peace of mind, so we don't. With Tom Wood's lifetime powertrain coverage, you're protected for unlimited miles and unlimited time, all at no cost to you. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com.
Thank you, calling Pop John's Cumberland. This is Kyle speaking.
Is that Supreme?
Good.
I really like
network name is
They scored touchdowns here.
Back here at Carmel High School where the punt is away. Bounces, and it's going to take a Carmel roll here. So Brownsburg's going to take over. Let's throw it down to Gabe real quick.
Just before number 9, the quarterback for Carmel, Osborne, went off. It is important to notice that he did have that left ankle taped up in a brace early on. I noticed that before the game, and that was something I wanted to look out for, and that does seem to be the reason on why he's left the game right now.
Well, Gabe talked about, that brace that Osborne was wearing before the game there, and he just helped off the field gingerly, so let's just hope he's okay. Estes finds Terrell on the sidelines. Quick pitch and catch there. He's out at the 50-yard line.
And I like that play call right there because, again, it establishes a little bit of rhythm. As your quarterback, in basketball they say you guy has to see the ball go through the net, right? It's going to be a layup, a free throw, and that helps him get started. Got to get him involved, basically. In football, that's what happens here. A guy gets a pass, he feels good about a throw, he catches the ball, and now they start feeling good about it.
Estes, snap, hand off to Marcus. Actually, that's Burks. He finds a seam there and gets down the field, picks up the first down. The ball's inside the 40 there. So, again, they found something every time they, get an opportunity to run the ball from time to time.
Well, but it's that combination. It's the mix. It's the mixture that's a big piece of that.
There's another run there, and the ball's on the ground. Let's see if it got away, and let's see who has it. Carmel is pointing as if they have it, and the officials haven't said anything yet, and now they do, and it's going to be Carmel football. So another drive by Brownsburg comes to an end. The unfortunate mistake.
Well, and here's where you see this defense. If you look at the defense walking out on the field right now, that's the exact first thing is they're walking out on the field right now. The heads are dropped. You see guys go, frustrated, trying to figure out what's going on right now. And Carmel's in a situation that they got to have a quarterback, and this is a little different situation for them. And we'll be interested to see what they do. But probably they're going to hand the ball, to their main guy and see what happens.
So Parker's the quarterback as they And I tell you what, that play is actually it was a fake, and Colton kept the ball, actually ran up the middle there. It was a great gain. I tell you what, he fooled everybody.
Well, that's what happens when a big guy like that breaks through the line. And a good thing he pulled that ball out, because that was going to be a blow-up.
I tell you what. So Colton Parker steps over from wide receiver into the backfield.
Well, the good thing about this change for Carmel is Colton's been in the game. You know, he's been playing. He's acclimated. He's not nervous. You know, this isn't his natural position, but the kid's an athlete. And so, you know, just by the sheer fact that he's been in the game, catching the ball, doing things, you know, makes that transition a little bit easier, I think, than a guy that has to come off that is cold, hasn't been out in the game, now has all the nerves. I think that's the positive for Carmel, on top of the fact that they're up 18-7.
White up the middle for a short gain, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. So another opportunity for Brownsburg to come up with a big stop here to get the ball back for the offense.
You see Terrell's in at safety right there, and you know, jumping on and playing both ways a little bit.
Parker, he tucks the ball, tucks it, looks downfield. He has nothing, just kind of pitches it out of bounds. So again, great defense by Brownsburg.
They have to throw the flag.
Looks like it should have been a flag, but it's not going to be a flag there.
You know, I'm assuming that once you're out of the pocket right there and you throw the ball past the line of scrimmage, you know, it's interesting because there's so many different rules around that, and
they got him for it.
In high school, that doesn't apply like it does in the NFL. I wasn't quite sure which one.
So he did get out. He got out of there, got out of the pocket, but it doesn't matter. It's still intentional grounded because there was no receiver in the area.
Well, here's what's really positive if you're Brownsburg is you shut them down and you're getting the ball back. Now, this is going to be the 3rd time you've had the ball this half. You got to put some points on the board.
Got to do something with it.
And, you know, right now, Brownsburg is struggling to figure out how to put points on the board.
So here's the punt, and it was almost blocked there. And it was actually blocked, and everybody's getting away from it, and it's going to roll out of bounds. So a very short punt, and Brownsburg is going to be very fortunate to get the ball on the Carmel side of the field there.
Well, here's what's happening right now is this defense is Brownsburg's defense is keeping them in this ball game. You know, yes, there's 18 points on the board, but those aren't really all the points that they gave up tonight based upon the 2 safeties, you know, and the touchdown right there. So the defense is playing well. The offense is going to have to turn it up and put some points on the board if they're going to, you know, try to win this game still.
Snap. Easter looks, finds Terrell. Quick hit there and a short gain there.
And normally we try to do those little quick hitters. I mean, he's throwing that from this hash, meaning all the way across to the field. A very, very long throw, and actually pretty dangerous in this particular case.
Inside the Marcus. Penalty flag is launched in the air, and it comes down, and Marcus gets up toward the 1st down, but it looks like that may come back for a hold.
Flag on the play.
Well, Brownsburg players seem to think it's going to be on Carmel, and Coach Hart's over there yelling at the referee.
So illegal formation, so that's going to go against Brownsburg. And again, every time they start to get some things going positively, something happens.
And these are unforced errors. If you know, when you're a coach, these things frustrate you more than anything else. When you're in a scenario, you're going, listen, you know, we got to do the things that we know that we can do right. You know, this isn't Carmel beating us. This is us beating ourselves.
2nd down and 11. Easton with the snap. Bad snap. Gets it up. Looks downfield. He has Terrell, and it's just off his hands, out of bounds. A broken play. Almost made something positive come out of that, but it was just a little bit out of Terrell's reach.
Well, out of his reach and out of bounds, but the good news is they're going to get a roughing the passer right there. That's going to save them and turn in this disaster into a 1st down. And that's the emotional roller coaster of football, right? And Carmel on the side's going, listen, like, don't make these mistakes. These are mental mistakes. We don't need to make these mistakes. You know, they're going to be. We're doing just fine.
You got a team that's capable of scoring points. You can't allow them to you can't give them opportunities. Inside handoff to Marcus. Tries to get to the outside, but nothing is there as he's taken down by a host of Carmel Greyhounds there.
And you can see right now, Carmel did a great job running to the football right there. And, you know, as a defensive coach, you're always saying, let's get 11 hats to the ball, 11 helmets, 11 guys running to the football. And you saw that happen right now. They pursued that right there, and there was nowhere to go.
Paget and Becker on the tackle there for the Greyhounds, as it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. The ball is at the 27-yard line. Aces with the snap inside. DeMarcus again. Nothing there. The Carmel defense is starting to stiffen here midway through the second quarter, second half rather.
And by this time in the game, you know, if you're Carmel, here's what you've seen. You've seen the sets they line up in. You start to see their run tendencies. You've watched so much film on them. You know when they line up in certain things, here's what they're going to do. And that's exactly what happened right there. It was a great read on the backside right there, you know, by the Carmel linebacker that knew that formation, and he beat him to the punch.
Passing situation, 3rd down. It looks like we're going to give a penalty again. Gifts are being given out here at Brownsburg as the offsides there, and that's going to take 5 yards off of it and make it a little bit easier for the Bulldogs.
Well, and hold on, there's some conversation
right
now.
Who's the penalty on?
To me, it looked like it was on Andrew Turvey.
That's what it looked like, yes.
You know, is that linebacker that was walked up right there, number 33. The question was he drawn offside by an offensive lineman? And it looks like that's what they're saying.
I tell you what, you can hear these Brownsburg fans out here. They don't agree with that at all.
They do not agree, and they're just kindly letting them know. Right now, Brownsburg's a little bit dysfunctional right now, and they're trying to figure out what to do.
So 3rd and 16. The play clock is at 14, 13, 12. The snap. It just drops back. He's looking, and he's hit. The ball is loose, and it is going to be recovered by the Greyhounds. So again, another opportunity for the Bulldogs goes to the wayside as Carmel takes over the ball with 4:39 left here in the 3rd quarter. Another opportunity blown.
Well, and if you look at what happened right there is, number one, I think they weren't ready. They weren't set. People didn't get a chance to see what happened. And that outside backer came around the corner right there pretty much untouched. And, in a situation right there with number 22 for Brownsburg, Cade Gardner just missed the block. And you can't leave your quarterback in that situation.
Parker. Set to take the snap. Hands it off to White. White gets around the edge to the left side and picks up about 4 yards before he's taken down.
White, the ball carrier.
And I think what you're going to see right now from Carmel is just a high dose of this. You're up.
You get the lead. You have the lead. Just run the football.
You're up a touchdown plus, and you got a good running game. There's 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. So just, run the ball, take a possession, let the time run off the clock. If you can get a couple first downs, you can easily, run out the rest of the clock here in the 3rd quarter and start doing the same thing in the 4th quarter.
Man in motion, that's Jones. As White goes up the middle again, and he just keeps his legs moving and moving and moving, and finally the whistle's blown and he
quarterback change.
About 5 yards there.
Yeah, and this is what's happening now. I mean, Carmel's finally, they got their quarterback, the backup quarterback in there, and they feel comfortable with him, it looks like, and they're going to run the ball and be comfortable with that.
So another 3rd down, and they got the quarterback in there. That's actually Lukowski. Number 17 is the new quarterback for Carmel. Takes the snap, hands off. He actually keeps it. Great gain up the middle there, picks up the 1st down. It's almost like these Carmel quarterbacks, that's a design, a read option there, and just takes it up the middle there, picks up the 1st down, moves the sticks. This is a great drive by Carmel.
Well, what they did initially, Colton Parker was the senior wide receiver. They put him in that immediate situation, calm down. Now they got to bring in, the Lakowski guy, who most likely is going to be the quarterback next week if there's a serious problem. And so they got to give him some game time action, and looks like that's what Carmel's doing now.
Inside handoff to White, picks up about 1. And you talk about that. Parker is more valuable, as a receiver to these Carmel Greyhounds. We've seen some of the things he's able to do. Sometimes he gets down there and takes inside and gets those slants, and that's probably where you want him.
And I think right now with Carmel is they got to look at the scoreboard and say we got a good chance to win this game. And everybody says next man up, but until you're in the situation that you have to do that, it's difficult. And, you got to start preparing for the opportunities for your team to be able to win, and it looks like Carmel's doing that now. 2nd and 9, 2:08 left here in the third. Handoff, flags everywhere. And that's actually Barron Smith who gets around the edge there, gets out of bounds. But, again, we saw flags, 2 or 3 flags just launched in the air. Sometimes I wonder, do officials let me just see how high I can throw this. Let me see how far I can throw this thing. Let me just see how far I can go. I wonder if they watch film and say, you know what, man, I threw flags for like 282 yards tonight, Yeah. I'm just giving a hard time. The Stripes are doing a good job tonight, calling this game.
I tell you what, every now and then the officials do have those little contests amongst themselves to see who can do what out there on the field.
Spoken from an official. All right.
Did you see me do that? Yeah, it does happen, I tell you.
But you're more of you're a baseball guy, right?
Baseball guy.
Umpire, huh? You're like behind the plate or?
Everywhere.
Yeah, all right.
Everywhere. 2nd down, 14. Kelsey takes the snap, drops back. An open man, that's Jones. Actually, that's actually Smith on the reception there. He's going to take the ball down to about the 25-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds.
Well, in great football programs, in a next man up, in all seriousness, they have talent. It's Carmel. They got 5,400 kids in their school. They got another kid that can play quarterback.
Yeah.
And, this is reassuring for Carmel to do that. And not taking anything away from Zach Osborne. We hope he's fine to come back tonight or the next game. But right now, seeing the next guy come in and start to perform, it's what they do at the college level, and it's good to see that here tonight.
You never know when you're going to get your opportunity. Kelsey takes the snap. Inside hand off to Zach White. And he just moves the pile again, as he does. Up the middle there.
And they're going to be a little bit short here, but I think, they're going to send looks like they're going to send the field goal team in and see if they can go ahead and put a few more points on the board. And that's interesting to me because,
it's 4th and 1, but they got a guy that's automatic in Spencer Hannah.
And this is where, from a scorebook perspective, what this does is makes it a 2-score game. And they can go up 21-7, and that puts Brownsburg in a situation they got to score twice. So I understand the move.
Spencer Hannah, Josh would be happy. He calls him Hannah-matic because he is automatic. He's been automatic all year. So Carmel adds 3 points to their lead here.
And here's what I want you to start to notice, Darryl, is we're on the Brownsburg sidelines. Defensive guys just walking off the field right now. Heads drop down right now. Because, the emotions start to play in this. You start looking at the scoreboard going, I'm down 2 touchdowns. Seniors are starting to feel like, I don't want this to be my last game ever. And, you look up in the stands and you see, parents and girlfriends and friends and, your student section. And that starts to get heavy for some people right now. And if you just see the demeanor from Brownsburg right now, this isn't the most competitive, team on this field. This isn't the number 4 team in the state right now. You're seeing a team right now that has their head down and is not sure they can win this game.
And again, does it go back to perhaps that HCC and that MIC conversation? Because, again, MIC teams dominate the HCC in postseason.
Well, I don't know that the kids out there, are willing to admit that, they don't feel like that, they're just competing against HCC. But I will tell you this, they are looking across that sidelines going, that's Carmel over there. And they win state championships. And here's what I would say about great programs is Carmel expected to win today. I believe that what we're seeing from Brownsburg is they hoped they would win today. And that's the difference between, great teams, great programs, is the difference of not what happens when things are going well, but in adversity, when things don't look, like they're going good for you. And I think that's the one thing that being in the MIC, playing these tough teams night in, night out, you feel like you're tested. And you feel like you can go anywhere else and beat anybody else, and that's a little bit of swagger that the MIC carries. And I would say, in my opinion, and I'm a little bit biased, but I think that's kind of like the SEC in college football. You can talk about the Big Ten. I like Big Ten. We're in Big Ten territory, but Alabama carries something different with them. When they do things.
All right, the kickoff is received by Brownsburg, and it's taken up just over the 35-yard line to about the 37. And that's going to be number 9. That was Ty Matthews for Brownsburg with the return. So that's where they're going to take over the ball with 49 seconds left here in the third. So again, the clock is starting to be not so kind to the Bulldogs.
I'm not worried about the clock at this point in time because I believe there's a lot of game left. What I'm really worried about is the attitude, the mindset, of this team. They can put points on the board. One pass right now, take it to the house. They're down one score. They're in this game by the score. I don't know if they're in this game mentally.
Marcus up the middle there, gets about maybe one, maybe perhaps back to the line of scrimmage. But again, they've got to start to target their big guys, their bread and butter. We talked about the receivers and Terrell and Lacey. They got to go after those guys.
Well, I think Carmel's defense and the defensive plan is right now just winning. They know what Browns are going to do. They're loading the box up. They're shutting it down.
Handoff. East just drops back, spins out, looks down the field. He's got a man open. Is intercepted. And the Carmel Greyhounds defense stands tall once again. Intercepted by Owen Schaefer. The senior, 6'6", 185, with the interception. Great hands.
Well, as a safety, he just sit back right there. He had a chance to read it. There's only one receiver on that side right there, and he look at him. He just read his eyes. He knew, and that's not a good throw from him right there. And he stepped in, waiting for that. He's probably been waiting for that all week long as he's watched that on film, watched some of the tendencies, and he went and made that play right there with 9.4 seconds to go in this third quarter. This could be a dagger for Carmel.
Lukowski returns to the field for the Greyhounds. Takes the snap. Inside handoff. That's Jones.
23, Jordan Jones.
Jordan Jones in that capacity right there. He's coming and breaking it up, seeing a little bit of speed. This is what you're seeing right now at the college and the pro level is even when they have a great running back, they're having this yin and yang with two good guys, the bulk or the different type of speed, and that's what Jordan gives Carmel as well.
So into the third quarter, Carmel 21, Brownsburg 7, back after this.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
Back here at Brownsburg High School, started the fourth quarter coming, and you talked about it a little bit during the break, Travis, that it's just the body language on Brownsburg at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell how discouraged they are with this game, and I know that from a coach's perspective, going, hey, listen, we're not out of this game. Like, it's a 14-point game. That's 2 possessions. That's a pick 6, and that's another touchdown, and we're tied up. Like, this can happen. But here's what happens when teams get down. Either they fight or they flight. And we're going to see what Brownsburg does, because right now it's looking like they're kind of running from this challenge instead of stepping into it.
The ball stands just inside the 35-yard line. That's a quick inside run. Jordan Jones again up the middle there for a couple.
And at this point in time, I mean, that's really all Carmel has to do is run the ball and, you know,
eat some clock
and control this game, pound on the defense a little bit, and then all you got to do is then you pop one over the top of him and you get a first down. You know, this is the luxury of having a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter of this game.
And you know, how much does it weigh on the defense that you're looking at, not the starting quarterback, for all intents and purposes, the third-string quarterback. He's doing a tremendous job out there, Lukowski. Rolls out of the pocket there, looking downfield. And he is taken down.
You know, right there, there's something key that happened right there that didn't happen for Brownsburg. When that blitz came off the backside right now, Jones, number 23 for Carmel, he stepped up and he took that block, protecting his quarterback right there. You know, just a really good, you know, piece of football that sometimes goes unnoticed, but that protected that quarterback right there, and that's a big deal.
So it's going to bring up 4th down and 1. So let's see what the Carmel Greyhounds are going to do here. It looks like they're certainly going to go for it.
Bulldog fans, it's 4th down.
So Lukowski in the spread. Takes the handoff, hands it to Zach White, and he may not even get close to the line of scrimmage. So again, the Bulldog defense stepped up there and got things done.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a situation. If you're Carmel, that's exactly what you have to do, and there's not really a different, you know, option. I don't think there should have been. You don't punt that ball. You don't do anything else. What you do is you run it. You run that clock right there, and see what happens.
All right, the MIC Network welcomes the Tom Wood Automotive Group as our newest partner. If you're looking for a new Nissan, Toyota, Lexus, or one of the 9 other brands they sell, let the exceptional team at Tom Wood help you find your next car, or keep the car you drive now. They can get it in tip-top shape. Check out their locations at tomwood.com.
Well, this is a big series right here for Brownsburg, and if they're gonna have the confidence to stay in the game, they're gonna have to move the ball.
Esther is hit when he threw it again, and it's picked off again. And that's going to be number 7 for Carmel there. That's Schaefer again with another pick, and he's still on his feet, and he's finally knocked down. But again, the defense of Carmel is playing relatively well here in the second half.
Well, and, you know, Schaefer, who's a senior cornerback right there, that's what you want. Like, you play this game to have that pick right there. And even when he started taking it down the sidelines, he said, you know what, I'm going to back it out and see if I can't take this thing to the house. You know, Easter didn't really have the right opportunity to throw it. You got to have some protection right there. And, you know, I have a feeling when Brownsburg goes back and watches this game, they're going to feel like they just self-destructed. They didn't do the things that they would normally do to compete in this football game.
And this is huge for the Brownsburg defense. You got to keep Carmel out of the end zone, or actually off the scoreboard, I would think, on this possession here. As Lukowski is taken down by the Brownsburg defense, number 11, one of the guys there, and that's Billups.
Yeah, 11, 92, and 8 they've been around the ball all night. And, you know, if they would win this game, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be handing a trophy to the defense saying, defense, they kept us in this game. You battled, you fought. You know, you did your thing, and we're thankful for that defense. And those big guys up front have been doing that all night long.
So late Lukowski set to receive the snap. Hand off inside to number 5. That's Barron Smith, and he gets a couple before he's knocked down.
And I think they're going to call a block in the back on Colton Parker right there. And he actually blocked him right down into the play right there. It's one of those hard things for receivers, you know, when you're facing a guy and you go to block him and they kind of turn their back to go make a play and you're already engaged in that situation. I always feel like that's a tough situation.
So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 16 for the Greyhounds.
I think they actually waved that off right there.
So they did wave it off.
That was interesting. I'm like, how did that happen?
So big defensive opportunity here for the defense of Brownsburg. Let's see what they can do here. Bukowski ready to take the snap, receives it, drops back, looks, gets it in the air, and he goes upstairs, and it's actually knocked away. Great defense right there, but the ball was intended for number 3, Jaden King, knocked away.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good ball right there. Throws the ball down the field, stretches them a little bit. Didn't turn out like they wanted to, by any means, but, great job by this Brownsburg defense to hold Carmel to, what looks like is going to be a punt or
there's no way they're going to kick a field goal here, so it looks like it's going to be a punt.
It's going to be a punt.
You see Schaefer, the guy who intercepts everything out here to actually kick the ball away.
I knew he was a punter, but I just realized, put all those pieces together.
So he tries to pooch kick it down, and it's actually inside the 20, closer, about the 17-yard line.
The MIC Network welcomes back Papa John's as a partner in bringing you the best high school sports coverage in Central Indiana. The Papa John's team is ready to cover your hunger at over 30 area locations. When you are ready for better pizza, make sure you order Papa John's. Just go to papajohns.com.
I'm hungry already.
Right. I see those commercials, reading that right there. I just need some Papa John's in my life right now, I think. Maybe it's that Big Shack one, with that Big Shack pizza.
Easter takes the snap. Hands off. Looks like that's actually Marcus on the inside there, and he gets a couple. They're staying with the run here as the clock dips down under 9.
First, the ball carrier.
Yeah, and they're going to change the tempo. As you see, they're going to a little bit of a hurry up right here, try to get some plays in, and that works when you're getting first downs.
Easter looks out, he hits Terrell out of bounds, and looks like there's a little contact there, and that's actually number 3 on the reception. And that's actually Diablo.
Well, what's noticeable right here, Springfield kind of was limping after that. He made a good play on that corner, and at this point in time, if you're a defense, all you got to do is just keep the ball in front of you.
And Burks with the carry, gets ahead, moving. But again, I'm concerned that the clock is going to run here. If you're Brownsburg, you got to get the ball down the field.
I mean, Brownsburg's running plays right now as if they're up 10 or 20 points, not trying to figure out how to put points on the board. And, I know that they are a good running football team. They're going to have to throw the ball down the field to actually get some points.
And Burks had a quick seam there, but Solomon Williams said and sticks him right there at the end there and to shut him completely down there. So Terrell on the reception here. And he breaks away, heading toward the end zone, but the official says, no. You got to bring that back, young man.
Well, it's third down and 1.
Easter takes a snap. Hands off to Burks. He finds a little hole there. He gets ahead for the first down.
And they're staying committed to this run right here. And, they may feel like with 7 minutes, over 7 minutes to go that they have enough time. And
well, it's risky business. I tell you, it's risky business. Easter takes the snap. And no one's there. I guess he and Terrell are on a different page there.
I mean, watching these guys play, for as good as they are, as many points they put up tonight, this is my first time seeing them play. I'd almost think that they haven't played together very much.
That's what it looks like at some time.
And that they're just completely out of sync. And, maybe there's some things that Carmel is doing to them that's creating this. But, it's unfortunate because, from everything that I've heard and seen on film, these guys are really good. They're just not playing well tonight.
Houston takes the snap inside to Burks. He falls forward for another 2 yards there, so it's going to bring up third down and about 8. So, again, you put yourself in a situation where it's going to be long yardage on third down.
Well, and here's what it does is now they know you're going to pass the ball, and so from a defensive coverage, from pressure, they're gonna bring their guys. Watch, they're bringing them right into the box right now. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
He drops back, and he's
guys.
hit as he throws it, and it's up, and the ball is knocked away at the last minute. Tremendous defensive effort by number 28 for Carmel, and that is Tyson Pennington.
Yeah, really good job on that coverage right there, and he stayed with it. From this perspective up here in the booth, it looked like there was going to be a situation that it was going to work out for him. He threw a perfect ball. He just made a perfect play.
Brings up 4th down.
Pennington got lucky there because he did get a couple of hands in there. The official didn't call it though, but there was a little bit of contact. But sometimes you got to let the guys play. Easters drops back. And the ball again high, but we have laundry on the field where it looks like that Terrell was actually interfered with.
And this is kind of what I've been saying all along is that, this Carmel secondary, I'm very impressed with this Carmel secondary tonight. But, if you throw enough balls, you're going to get pass interference calls. Like, there wasn't a ton of contact there, but it's enough that's visible with the crowd, yelling. I mean, those officials pulled those flags out of their pocket like he was holding them all the way. I mean, it happened that quick, and that's my point. You got to put pressure on a defense and make them perform.
Brownsburg moving closer. Easters takes the snap, and looks like we have a penalty.
False
start, so it's going to take away 5. So every time they get in a position to do something positive, a penalty takes them back and puts them in a bad spot there. So you got a score update over there, Travis. What you got?
It looks like we got Warren Central up 21-7 on LN.
Easters goes deep. Got a man wide open. That ball should have been delivered, should have been caught, but it was just a little high. And that was intended for number 31. That was Caitlin Carroll.
And you're right. That didn't gel right there, and all those pieces didn't come together. But that's where, you put the pressure on. You put the pressure on, and you do it on downs where they don't always think that you have to throw.
Easters drops back.
They're bringing.
And he's hit as he throws, and this ball is going to be caught right around the 2-yard line, and that's going to be number 3, and that's Diallo with the catch.
Yeah, I mean, again, you throw the ball down the field, you make them have to make plays, and no matter how good they are, that's kind of what happens.
Easters with the snap. Burke gets to the edge, and he's knocked away. In fact, that's actually Carroll. Actually, it was Brandon Burke with the carry.
Yeah, and they've had some success with him today, too. I don't know where Caleb Marcus went, but he was having a little bit more success getting up in the hole and getting those first downs earlier tonight.
Snap. Quick throw to the end zone there, and it is intercepted by the Carmel defense. It was intended for Terrell. Another big play for the Carmel defense.
And the frustrating thing looking at this for Brownsburg is the hurry-up offense has forced them to hurry up and not necessarily get ready, make decisions that I think that's probably the right play. Put your best guy against their best guy and see what happens. But the way that they did it, the speed and the pace, I just feel like they've rushed tonight and they weren't ready to do some things. But tip your hat to Carmel's defense. I said a few minutes ago, this secondary is really good, and they're going to be tough to deal with, and I think they're going to give whoever they play next, if they win this game, a handful just based upon that secondary.
I'll tell you what, it looks like you perhaps might have – you want to put that in a position where either it's caught or it's going out of the back of the end zone there. That was a little underthrown there and picked off. As we see Leighton Lukowski take the snap there. Hand off to Zach White. He gets around the right side, spins forward, still moving, churning, still moving the pile, and he is almost to just over the 40-yard line.
Yeah, what a great hard-nosed run, and he wears that number 40, and it kind of reminds me like that old school Mike Allstott from Purdue, who just is the A-train, just running and grinding, and look at him grinding, moving his feet. He said, I'm not going to be denied right now.
I'll tell you what, Carmel is starting to feel it here late in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes and 34 seconds left. Looks like we're going to change the play here. The play clock's down to 10. It's at 7. 5. Lukowski takes the snap. Inside handoff to White. He moves the pile ahead for about 2 yards.
Yeah, and, that last possession right there was just a dagger, because they score that touchdown. All they need is a stop to get the ball back. And, you never want to, as a senior, go out like this. But, Ben Easter's is going to look at this game and go, man, this was not how I should play. And this one's going to burn for a little bit right now. Now, if they get the ball back and he can put it in the end zone, they can turn it around. But as of right now, it's starting to hurt.
2nd and 7. Gronkowski, nice pitch out to number 3, and that's King. He gets around, gets the ball right up to the 49-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds.
Now this is where I would love to see, Barron Smith, a senior right there, look at him, say, hey, listen, you got to cut that back up in. We're trying to stay in bounds. Now, that's not going to prevent Carmel from winning tonight. But those little mistakes right there down the road are the things that great teams do when you're trying to make sure that you win this ball game.
I'll tell you, how stunned is this Brownsburg crowd? You have a team that's highly ranked and one loss on the season. Sikowski hands off to the inside again, and that goes for very little, and the ball is popped out, but the official said no, he was down, and that was actually Zach White with the carry.
Yeah, Zach White's going to have to hold on to that ball. When he made that big run a few minutes ago and really pushed down there, I saw that ball getting loose a couple times, and he's got to get that thing tucked in because you definitely want to put that ball on the ground. Now,
4th down, 4th and 1, so Brownsburg is going to get the ball back, but the clock is, I tell you what, it is ticking down, and we're under 4 minutes, so now things get difficult, really difficult for the Brownsburg Bulldogs here trying to come back.
Well, and this is one of those times either you say, hey, I'm trying to return this thing, or we're bringing everybody trying to block it. Looks like they're setting up more for a return.
And there's the kick there, gets away, and everyone's just going to back away, and it's going to come to rest right about the 16-yard line. So that's where Brownsburg will take over here. Tell you what, they're running out of chances here.
Marriott East. The secret is out about one of Indianapolis' best hotel choices. The Marriott East team will make sure you are safe and secure during your stay. With amenities like Skylight Bistro and the Business Center, everything you need is right here on site. And at the Marriott East, a great stay doesn't have to cost you a great deal of money. Next time you need a great hotel room or a safe place to hold your meeting, contact the folks at the Marriott East, located just off Shadeland on 21st Street in Indianapolis.
Easters looking for Terrell, and that ball is just out of his reach there, so it's going to bring up 2nd down. So now it looks like there's a bit of desperation on the side of Brownsburg, especially with that throw there.
Well, here's the thing. If your best wide receiver is out there, you want to try to throw out the ball towards his way. But now as Carmel, as you're going to start to see, they're going to just sit back in a prevent defense and just say, that's fine. And now it's a really uphill battle for them.
We have a player down, number 7, so let's take the time to step away, and we'll be right back after this.
Oh.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of FrontRunner Media's Next Generation Initiative. Thanks to FrontRunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
21-7 with 3:29 left here in the 4th quarter as Brownsburg tries to mount some sort of comeback. Easter takes the snap, drops back, looking, unleashes it down the field, and the ball is actually caught by number 3, and that's Diallo again. He's made a couple of great catches on these last couple of possessions for the Brownsburg Bulldogs. There's still fight left.
Well, that wasn't a very good throw, but that was a heck of a catch right there. He just went up and actually decided that he wanted that ball more.
Easters drops back, looks, throws it again. And just out of the reach, the same. Actually, it looks like that's injury. Is that Terrell out there? Looks like he's may have injured himself there. the officials. He drops back and gets it in the air. Great throw there. It looks like and so as we see they attend to the player injured, we're going to step aside for a quick break. Back after this.
Network Game of the Week is a proud product of FrontRunner Media's Next Generation initiative. Thanks to FrontRunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hard-working students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
Thank you, calling Pop Jones. Cumberland, this is Kyle speaking.
Cheese is my favorite. I love the plain.
Is that supreme? Good. Chicken.
I really like
Network name they scored touchdowns here. You gotta be able to get these guys off the field to get like, nice punt.
Yeah.
Back here at Brownsburg High School, Carmel up 21-7 over the Bulldogs. So Travis, 3:11 left here in the fourth quarter. What are the coaches saying to the players?
Well, right now what you're just trying to say is, hey, we're not out of this game. Like, you know what? You've seen way more crazier things happen. And, you know, if he catches that ball right there and that's a touchdown, you're onside and kick, if you get it back, you're trying to do it again. You're just trying to encourage your guys like, hey, we've come this far. Like, we're not giving up right now. And, you know, I'm on their side right now because if they can throw a ball down there and put it in the end zone, they do have a chance to onside kick and do it again. Now, it's a long road, and there's a lot that has to happen. And, you know, if you're Carmel right now, you're just saying, hey, keep everything in front of you. Like, you know, if I'm the defensive coordinator, if I'm coaching the secondary right now, I'm saying, listen, everything has to be in front. There shouldn't be not one person that gets behind you. You should be deep as the deepest, meaning, you know, if you're a DB, you see everything, let them make a catch and make a tackle. You know, just don't let a big play happen. Let a bunch of little plays, it'll run time off the clock, and you'll still get a W.
And we saw Terrell being helped off the field, so we're going to see who the go-to guy is here with, again, like I said, 3:11 left. Easters takes the snap, drops back. Here comes the rush, and he is taken down. First man there, big number 73 for Carmel. That is Ethan Trent.
Well, the thing about it is great play call, and there were wide receivers that were open. He just didn't have enough time to get them the ball right there. And so,
third down, 12 yards to go before the first down. Easters drops back. He's looking, tries to escape again, and he is taken down again.
Yeah, in this situation, this is where, like, you got to know the situation. You got to run. You know, you have options that are running underneath routes right there. That you got to throw the ball. You know, the one thing you can't do in this situation right now as the quarterback of this team is take a sack.
So fourth down and 19 yards to go. This could be the ball game right here. Easters looking, rolls out, and he just lets it go, and it's out of bounds, and that's going to be turned over on downs to the Carmel Greyhounds with 2 minutes left. I tell you, this game is almost on ice for the Carmel Greyhounds.
Yeah, and at this point in time, I now understand the body language because it's setting in. It's 2 minutes to go. You're giving the ball back to Carmel. Carmel should be able to run the clock out right here. You look up in the stands. People are, getting out. They're walking down, and some of that. I didn't want to be here is starting to set in for them.
Man in motion, Bukowski keeps it, goes up the middle there, picks up about maybe 4, 5, maybe 7 before he's knocked down. My question for you, Travis, was Carmel ever really threatened in this game?
No, I think Carmel came out from the very beginning and were pretty dominant, right? From the first possession, then they got the first save, the fumble recovery turned into a safety. They got another safety, then touchdown. Carmel's kind of been on cruise control this game. And, when they look at their film, they're not going to feel like they played a flawless game at all because they made a lot of mistakes out there too. It's just not reflected in the scoreboard as they're winning 21-7.
And if you look at the Brownsburg side, you got them down to their third-string quarterback, and you still can't do anything with them. I mean, what does that say to the psyche if you're a Bulldog?
Well, I think the defensive team, for Brownsburg really played well tonight. They spent a lot of time on the field. We don't have that number to see how much time they spent on the field, but they were on the field for a long time, and they needed a pick-me-up from their offense. They needed them to score at some point in time. And you know what? Brownsburg just couldn't put the pieces together to put the ball in the end zone because they had plenty of chances, a lot of opportunities, but they couldn't get the ball in the end zone.
And a lot of people say, you know what? During the sectional play in the playoffs, let's send Carmel down to the south because they go up north. It's always an easy route.
Yes.
They come down here this year, and I guess they're taking care of business.
Well, they're taking care of business tonight. I don't know if it's as easy as a route as it was last year because at the end of the day, somebody's going to have to go play Center Grove, and that's not going to be a good situation for most teams. Now, somebody might turn it up. They might catch them on an off game like you caught Brownsburg tonight, and you might have a chance to win, but, it's going to go through Center Grove, and it's not going to be easy.
It is not going to be. Nobody's beating Center Grove. That's a good ball club down there. Bukowski takes the snap, and there's going to be offside. That's going to be against Brownsburg. Looked like somebody was leaning there, and so there's going to be another mistake there.
We can hear the coaches next to us yelling about offsides. Well, it looks like Warren Central is going to pull off an upset tonight against Allen, which will put Warren Central playing Center Grove next week. And they made some personnel changes, and they're actually clicking and could be a tough team to play. Now, they're not Center Grove, but all it takes is you playing your best and somebody else not playing their best because, if we came back and we watched this Brownsburg team play 3 or 4 times against Carmel, it's not going to look like this very often. They didn't have their best stuff tonight, and they weren't able to put it together. So I think for somebody to beat Center Grove, you're going to have a lot of that.
You send an all-star team down there if you wanted to. Bukowski takes the snap. Inside looks like that's Colton. Parker gets about maybe 2 before he's taken down, and getting back to the Lawrence North. They had everything in place this year to go deep in this tournament. It's just one of those situations where you go up against a team over the years that you haven't been able to beat, and I'm talking about Warren Central. You got to go play them at their place. That's something else they can play against the Psyche. It looks like perhaps that's what happened tonight.
Well, like I said earlier in this game, Carmel expected to win this game. Brownsburg was hoping to. Probably what happened on the east side tonight is the same thing. Carmel won that game, or Warren Central won that game because they were expecting it. They were expecting to win that game, not hoping to win it.
All right, we're going to step aside and come back right after this.
At Tom Wood, we believe you can't put a price on peace of mind, so we don't. With Tom Wood's lifetime powertrain coverage, you're protected for unlimited miles and unlimited time, all at no cost to you. Find the car you want the way you want at tomwood.com.
We are back here with 1:46 left here in the fourth quarter. Carmel on top, 21-7, looking to advance to the next round.
Well, and this is going to set up a matchup next week, and I haven't seen the score. I'm assuming Ben Davis is probably going to kind of win that game. But it's going to set up an opportunity to play that game. And, that's where anytime that you have Carmel and Ben Davis playing, you never know what's going to happen. Carmel beat them, handily this year, 31-9. But, late in the year, teams are different. That's what we're seeing from Carmel tonight. They're different than this Brownsburg team. And next week is 2 MIC teams playing for that spot on the South.
Definitely. As White gets loose here, and he looks like he might go. Look at the speed on that guy. Slides down, and I tell you what, he was close to breaking that thing loose.
Yeah, he was, boy. And he had a lot more speed than I thought. He kind of broke away, and now he saw the DBs coming and went ahead and took a slide right there. But, that's probably a very smart play.
He just cuts that thing back, and all of a sudden, where did that gear? Look at that gear there. And just slides it down, and this is a smart play again. Keep the clock going.
Yep.
Looks like we have a player down for the Bulldogs.
We've had a lot of guys. Look like some cramping, some things happening to guys out there on the field tonight. And you never want to be in a situation that you see that happening, and so we hope everybody that has experienced some of that, those are temporary things, and they're going to be okay.
So we talked about the Ben Davis, perhaps the Ben Davis and Carmel matchup. That could be a really rivalry kind of game. That could be a decent game. All right, and let's send it down to out to a commercial. We'll be back after this.
MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
We are back.
It looks like Carmel is in what they call victory formation, which means looks like they're going to take a couple knees and call this a game. Daryl, I know that you're normally on the color side, so tonight you're on the play-by-play side.
Boy,
and, hey, to some of our guys that normally do the play-by-play, you're like, hey, this is a little more difficult.
This is not easy. This is not easy. I mean, I tease them, make them, give them the business, but this is not easy. I'll have it down by 2 weeks. I'll have it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding there. So again, like you said, in the victory formation, as Kowski throws the ball back to the official there, we're down to 30 seconds, and they may not have to snap the ball. Well, maybe a 2-second difference there, so they may snap it. But Carmel comes into Brownsburg and takes care of business on this sectional night championship. These teams haven't met since '74, we mentioned, and Carmel is going to prevail here. Look at the celebration over there on the Carmel side.
Well, definitely the last time, when Brownsburg looks at this game, they're going to say, we didn't come out and play the football that we normally play, and there's going to be a lot of disappointment for sure.
And that's one of those situations where like you said, you look at what they've done all year long. One loss, overtime loss. They've put up points all year long. They just weren't able to do anything but put up 7 points tonight. A lot of mistakes early, which probably put them in a position where it was too much to overcome.
Well, here's something, that I should be clear on is that we talked a lot about, how great of a job Brownsburg defense did, but Carmel's defense was stellar tonight. They did a little bend and some, not very much break. They did a great job with the run. They shut down the pass. Carmel won this game tonight because their defense was able to shut down Brownsburg's offense.
So we're talking about the Carmel Greyhounds, sectional champions here at Brownsburg. Great game. I'll tell you what, if you had to pick a player of the game over there, there's probably a couple of guys to choose from. Probably almost a team effort over there tonight. But, again, another great job by Carmel.
Well, yeah, I don't know how many yards Zach White had, but he definitely carried them through this game, and I think he did a great job. But then you could also look at the fact that, Zach Osborne did a great job and actually set the tone early on in the game, and then you can just give it to their whole defense.
The whole defense.
And say, hey, you guys took an offense that's averaging 30 points a game, and you shut them down.
Well, Owen Shaver, a couple of interceptions. I mean, did a great job. So
let's see who
throw it down to the play of the game. Number 9 is the player of the game, and that is actually the quarterback. That's actually Owen, who's actually in a boot now. So I'll tell you, again, that's going to be something to monitor if he's going to be able to even play next week.
Well, I think the good news is you see that on his foot, because that tells you, it's a foot or an ankle. He could have rolled it. A lot of things could have happened, and that's a better situation than it being a knee. And kid might be out for a long time.
So Zach Osborne is our player of the game. Again, we have a couple of guys to choose from, but Zach Osborne will be the player of the game in crutches and all. And so if you're all right, we're going to send it down to Gabe. Gabe, what you got down there?
All right, first and foremost, I want to say congratulations on a big win against Brownsburg. Your defense was on fire today. You guys had 2 safeties and countless amounts of interceptions. What's going through your mind right now?
I can't wait to watch the film because it all kind of runs together. It was just, being in bad situation after bad situation, and several kids stepping up and making great plays. Luke Conley with big sacks and hits on the quarterback that led to interceptions. Owen Schaefer with interceptions. And just really them coming off the field exhausted, and then, not long after being ready to go right back out and do it again. So I'm really proud of them.
And now, speaking of big players, your star quarterback, number 9, Osborne, he went off with an ankle injury. Can you give us an update on how that's going right now?
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to talk with the team doctor yet, but he's had a bad ankle for a while, and I think that he tweaked it again. So, we're just going to have to cross our fingers, hope for the best, and hope that he can play next week.
All right, thank you, Coach, and best of luck on the rest of your season.
All right, Carmel, your regional champions here. We came in here expecting a high-scoring ball game. We didn't quite get that.
Well, I think right now Brownsburg is probably in shock. They didn't think there was a chance in the world that they were going to come in and play Carmel tonight and only put up 7 points. Carmel's defense did a fantastic job shutting them down, and that's why they are the sectional champs.
We talked about it got going early for Carmel with the penalties, as we see one of the first runs. That's actually by Osborne, who was actually our player of the game, where he got things established early.
Well, and I think he did a great job setting the tone right there. And, after they scored, then they turned the ball over right there. And now you have Carmel scrapping. And before you know it, you have a safety. And there's always something demoralizing about having a safety. And, you can see the energy and the excitement from Carmel. And we just didn't see that at all tonight from Brownsburg.
And if you're Brownsburg, that's 2 years in a row, because last year they had a high-powered team and an offense, and they got taken out by Avon. This year, they expected, different results here, and it happened the same way. Carmel gets them here on their home field.
Yeah, I think that when the staff looks back at this video and they talk to their kids, one of the things they're going to be talking about next year is it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and about being mentally tough all the way through the game. They have some talented young men, they have some great players, but they didn't mentally show up today to this game.
And is there something to that HCC MIC conversation? Is there anything to that?
Well, I think if you're from the MIC, you're always going to say, "This is the MIC. This is who we are. And this is why we do what we do." If you're from Brownsburg, you're just going to say it has nothing to do with that. We just didn't play very well, and if we had played well, we would have been just fine.
So Carmel's moving on next week. They're going to play, looks like it's going to be Ben Davis, and that's going to be another matchup. It should be a great game. Again, Carmel blasted them early in the season. Do they have anything? What can they do?
Well, if Carmel's defense plays like they did right here on the screen, and they're making interceptions and they're stopping the run, there's not a lot that Ben Davis is going to be able to do with this high-powered Carmel team. Now, one thing we really have to take into consideration is who's going to be a quarterback next week.
That's
because
absolutely
Zach
true.
Osborne did kick things off, and by the time that the backups took over in his game, the game was already under control. They didn't have to go out and they didn't have to produce anything. So that's definitely something that we want to see happen.
Yeah, so, again, Carmel came in here tonight and played actually a well-executed game plan to walk out of here with the championship. So, again, great job by Carmel. The school moves on. Another great job by us, by you, the students here at the MIG Network. So we're going to go ahead and close it out here. So until next week, DMJ, Travis Brown, with Gabe right on the sidelines. We'll see you next week.
MIG Network Game of the Week is brought to you by the Tom Wood Automotive Group, Papa John's, Marriott East Indianapolis, Grand Visions, and Frontrunner Media. You can watch the MIG Network Game of the Week on the MIG Network website, IndyStar.com, and WTHR Facebook Live.